Okay, now we're good. I am so sorry, YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, I am so sorry. This whole entire time, I thought I was already live over there. I thought I was. Hi, HK. How was your stream? How was Call of Duty? How was COD? Hi, Jida. Something. Clear request queue. I'm on it. No, don't clear. No. Don't clear it. Don't clear it. Don't clear it. So I don't see my request queue. Like, I physically cannot see it. I'm gonna put a screenshot in the mods channel so you guys can all see. It literally is just perpetually saying completing requests. I've tried refreshing. I open another page. I've tried a bunch of different things and it still isn't like actually loading that for me. So you guys are gonna have to tell me if there's a request, because I can't see anything. What the heck? Change it to pop out. I did. I changed it to pop out. And then I tried to put it back in. Didn't work. I tried to change it from request queue really quick. I'm still just right here. Hold on. I tried to change it to like one of the other. There we go. Hi. I tried to change it to I tried to pop it out and put it back in. I've tried to like change it to something else and then put it back. I've closed the window and then reopened it. I've closed the tab and reopened it, and it still just says clearing queues. So something wrong with your eyes? What's up, Vic? What happened? What's wrong? What's wrong with your eyes? What the heckies? Ripenui? I don't know. I'm just like, what the heck? Oh. I see. Okay. I see what you mean. Alright, we'll do 30 minutes like this. But this is the only one you're getting for the night. If a moderator can do me a favor and pause that redeem, it's the only one you guys are gonna get for the night because it is reading night. And, yeah. So, anyways. I can't take them off you. You can't, you're right. Guess what? Me and my stepmom did today. We managed to link my Fortnite account to my new Nintendo Switch for 2 years. I'm so happy. Heck yeah! You were able to switch to connect it? Nice! Hope you're doing well today. I'm doing good, Spencer. I'm doing good. What about you? How's your night? Paused. Thank you. Hi, Donna. Welcome in. How are you? How's your night? Hopefully you're doing well. I love reading night. Oh, me too. It's my favorite night. I love reading night. And I'm actually like super, really happy about the fact that we're reading Frankenstein. Ouch. Ow. I forgot I did that. I have to tell you guys, I did something really stupid. Okay. So next to our sink, we have a dish rack, right? We have a dish rack. So when we're washing dishes and everything, because we don't have a dishwasher, right? So we have a sink and a dish rack, right? So I was washing my dishes earlier that I used yesterday because I didn't want to wash my cup afterwards. And it's the cup that Valonia actually gave me. It's the glass cup, the pom pom pudding glass cup. And I had a coffee yesterday, and I was like, I'll wash the cup today, right? So I washed the cup and I hung it into the dish rack, but the cup has a straw, right? So I reached over to put the straw in the little section of the dish rack, like where you put the forks and the knives and stuff like that, right? The little cup that's like on the side of it. So I reached over to put it in there, and there was a fork that was sticking straight up. And because I wasn't looking at what I was doing, I just knew where to put it, right? One of the prongs of the fork jabbed me right between my nail and like the pad of my finger, no, the cup is fine. Nothing happened to the cup. But one of the prongs of a fork that was sitting straight up stabbed me right where the nail and the pad of my finger is. And I'm just like, oh, it hurts so bad. It's still a little sore. I'm not bleeding. I didn't bleed. Nothing like that happened. But oh my god, it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. My most of my thumb. Ow, 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 ow. One of the worst spots. It was so painful. Oh my god. I was just like, new fear unlocked. New fucking fear unlocked. Doing that again. Have a good look, Jacoby. Literally, doing that again is my new fear. I was like, how? Then I remembered, you have nails. I do not. Yes. Yes, I have nails. I have pretty long nails. They're not like super, super crazy long, but they are pretty long. And I actually painted them. I have a Inky helped me pick the color. So I have like this kind of like sea kind of blue, and then I tried to do this thing, and it didn't turn out great. It did not turn out great, but I think it's kind of cutie. I only managed to do it on one hand. So I painted the tips yellow and like this orangey color. So it's like my pinky is blue with the yellow tips, and then my ring finger is blue with the orange, and then blue and yellow, blue and orange, blue and yellow. Accident prone is my constant. I never really thought of myself as someone accident prone, but that's because I used to be much more careful with myself. I would like look at what I'm doing. Now I don't look as often. I'm just like, oh yeah, this just goes here, and then I drop stuff on the floor. I'm just like, oh right, we moved that. Everyone has been accident prone these past couple of weeks. Really, you too? What did you do? A lot of people we know are very accident prone. Especially a certain someone. Are we talking about Kanaya? Okay. Ako! Can't be here fully tonight. Have to work at 9 a.m. No, you're so good, Ako. You're so good. Thank you so much for letting me know. You are so okay. Like, for the new mods, those of you who were not here yesterday, I announced the new mods. So we brought on board Abaddon, HK. Really quick, HK, thank you so much again for the raid. If you do need to raid and run, I completely understand, but if you would like to lurk and hang out, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure to do your after stream care, eat food, drink water, take a shower, because you're a stinky gamer. But yeah, I know you had a long stream, so I do not expect you to moderate for me as well tonight. But yes, we did onboard a lot of amazing people to help me with not just my event starting next week, but also to be full-time moderators whenever their schedule allows it to be, obviously. So we have Dry Dock, Pinoy, Ako, Abaddon, Fubuki, HK, Michael. I think I already said Dry Dock. I know I said Pinoy and Fubuki. Who am I forgetting? Who am I forgetting? You guys know who you are. You guys know who you are. Big oof. When we were kids, my brother got a fork oh no, ooh, I don't even want to read that out loud just in case. Oh no, Dry Dock. Big owies. Big owie. Oh my god. I'm gonna be here so... because I love it. Well, of course, Ako, as long as you're able to, of course, tonight. If you can only stay for a little bit, then that's okay. Obviously. Oh my gosh. If nothing goes wrong, I go paranoid. Hi, Louise. Welcome in. How are you? How's your night? Hope you're doing good. I need to sleep. Yes, go get some sleepies. Michael? Michael. I'm no one special. What do you mean? I said Michael? I said Mike. I know for a fact I said Michael. I know I said Dry Dock. I know I said Pinoy and Fubuki, HK and Abaddon, Maidens. Who else? Ako. Obviously, we could see Ako. I was saying this in reference because of Ako. I can't think of it. Hi, Rex. Welcome in. Sorry, we got Pookie Bear. We got Pookie Bear. Hi, Spencer. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey today. So many people have been watching it, and they say it's really, really good. How did you like it, Spencer? You said you really enjoyed it, but what was your favorite, about it? You don't have to be specific because I do plan to see it, but Hi, Mansform. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Also collected 3 of the 4 spirits. Oh, sprites. I need it before the 30th, and I need the Q-Punk sprite. It's so hard to find. You can find it. I believe in you. I believe in you. There was something I was thinking about like a second ago, and I was like, oh, I should show chat. And now I can't remember what it was. What was it? What did I have in my brain that I'm like, oh, this would be so cool to show chat? Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about it, okay? We're going to talk about it, but we're not going to be able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it tonight, okay? I'm going to talk about it, but we're not going to do it tonight, okay? I actually got a sponsorship for next week for the birthday event, for a game called Misoke, okay? But hear me out. Okay, before you guys go to Steam and try and purchase the game and play it before I do, okay, before you guys do that, okay, because it's a sponsorship, I will be provided a special link for you to pick up the game and purchase. And every time you guys make a purchase of the game, with my link, okay, I get a very small percentage of that as well. So if you guys like the game, after I do a playtest of it next week, I will give, I will have, it's going to be a sponsored stream, right? So we're going to play the game, it's going to be a sponsored stream, kind of like how we did when we played Spirit of Seasons. Then you guys will be able to pick up the game. It's only like $12. It's not a crazy expensive game. It's a really cozy game, beautiful scenery. And it makes me think of Avatar because the main character has a kite that they fly around on. It looks so freaking cute. I'm really excited to get it all set up. But like I said, we're not going to do it tonight. We're not going to do it this week. We're going to do it next week. So really interested in seeing the movie, right? Yeah. And then you guys get a game out of it. And I think you get like, I think it's like 10% off the original price, and then I get some of those proceedings every time there's a purchase of it. So I was thinking we do that next week during the event, during the big birthday event, make it part of it, Cozy, you say. Yes, it is such a beautiful game. I'm gonna pull it up really quick. I'm gonna pull up the game so you guys can kind of see what the game is like. Okay. It is so pretty. Okay. I'm going to lower the music. And we're going to do this. For this part, I will do this while we do this part. That way I don't get demonetized on YouTube. And so here's the game. This is the game that I will be doing a sponsorship with. It's already been confirmed and everything with me. Now I just need to pick a day and time to play it. But this is the game. It is so freaking pretty. Hi, McBarties. How are you? Hi, Roses. And it's a flying game. Wee! Oh, it looks so good. I can't wait. I can't wait to play it with you guys next week. This looks awesome, right? Gorgeous, right? Oh. Whoosh. It kind of makes me think a mix of Journey with the scarf and Avatar, right? Because you're flying around with the kite thing. You got to collect those crystals. But look at this. Look at this. Wait. It's gonna get to the part that I'm like, oh, right here. It should be coming up soon. Yeah. Right here. Oh. No. Where is it? Where's the part? Oh, they don't show it in there. Okay, it was probably in the game trailer when I did the sponsorship application. Ah, so freaking pretty, isn't it? Isn't it? If you want to wishlist it, you can, but I'll tell you guys again. It is on Steam right now. However, don't get it off of Steam. Okay, if you were thinking of picking up the game, don't get it off of Steam because I will be doing a sponsorship for it. I will have a special link for the sponsorship, and with the link you get, let me double check my brain to make sure I'm saying that correctly. Yes, if you guys use the link that I will have, that they're going to provide to me, I will get a certain percentage of every sale. So it is a sponsorship, and it'll be like on my storefront page, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So if you guys go to Steam and you wishlist it, you can. However, if you purchase it from Steam, I will not get the developers will not be, it won't recognize that you guys got to the game because of me. You know what I mean? So if you guys use my link that I'm going to provide when we play the game on the sponsorship night, then I will get the they'll get the notification that it was because of me. Does that make sense? Seen a video of that a few months ago. Yeah, it's been out for a little bit, but I reached out to them because I really wanted to play it, and I was like, sponsorship? And they were just like, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, hell yeah. So, acknowledgement of promotion. Yes, that's the word. Thank you, Roses. Get it off of Steam. Got it. Wait. That's only with them there. Yeah, don't get it off of Steam. Don't do it. Because if you do, then I won't get the acknowledgement for the promotion, as Roses put it. Thank you. I've been calling it kudos, and I was like, that's not the right word. Still looks cool, right? Text you later about, okay, McFarties, how are you? Can we wishlist it? Yes, you can. From the mental health crisis? Oh no. This game, right? It looks gorgeous. I'm so excited to play it. I cannot wait. It looks really pretty. I've applied for a couple different ones. I haven't heard anything back, but for sure, 100% for sure, we have Misoke. So that'll be fun. Anyways, so tonight we're going to be doing some reading. Tonight we have Frankenstein on the docket. Oh, right. Hold on. I have to go back to here. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work. There we go. Because you did pay for thighs only for at least 30 minutes. And I want to honor that. Looks like Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I've been checking out a lot of really cool games. I have this one that I've been wanting to play. What is it called? It's called Song of the Hmong. Hmong. It is a side-scroller game. It's a music-based game, and I am so excited to check that one out. Another game that I really hope I can actually play very soon is at the end of August, at the end of the event, actually I should say at the end of our event, I'll be picking up Final Fantasy XIV again. So those of you who play Final Fantasy XIV, we're going to be playing that until I get through Endwalkers. We're going to do the story and everything as much as we can. I don't have a house anymore. Those of you who are not here during the big housing depression, I was so sad. I was actually super sad. A lot of you, when I first started playing, gave me a bunch of money. I put in bid for a couple different houses, and I got a house, but then I couldn't play for so long. Like, my sub dropped and everything, and then all the stuff that we used to decorate the house disappeared. And I waited too long to go get it. Literally, if I picked up the stuff like 3 days before, I would have been able to pick up all the stuff. But it's gone, because it doesn't hold on to it forever, right? So a lot of this housing stuff disappeared. And I was so upset. I was so sad. But I was like, you know what? Because I don't have Air Housing Talk, which MMO, Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy 14. Unga Bunga Warrior. I play Summoner. I've picked up Painter. I have Dancer. I have a couple, but Summoner is like my main. I love being Summoner. Summoner is so much fun. But, yeah, the house is gone. All the stuff is gone that we used to decorate the house. But I was able to get some things back, because I had money left over. And I have an apartment. And from what I understand, the apartments do not disappear. The apartments are kind of just like always there, right? So I have an apartment, and I have one in... Where did I get an apartment? I think it's in Limsa Lamensa, or like that area. I'm pretty sure. They don't have any... I think the last place that they added housing to was... gosh, I keep wanting to say Honami. It's not Honami, that's Uwa. What was the last place? Not me thinking we could get an actual house. Oh, no. Heck no. Heck no. In this economy? Heck no. No. I can help. Yeah, I'm really excited to pick it up and play it again. I have missed signing on and playing and the story. I'm about halfway through Endwalkers. If not almost halfway through to Endwalkers. Ivan, I could tell that you like 14. I see the little badge, little Final Fantasy 14 badge. So Ivan, I will fully expect you to play with me, to carry me around, and what's it called? And I don't know, stuff and things. Yeah, I was right. No, in the game. Not in a game, I should say, in a game, not IRL. No. Trust me, if it was IRL, I would not be here right now. Imperium. Latest is the new Ishgard place, I think. Was it? No. There was Ishgard, and then there was, oh gosh, okay, now I need to look it up. FF14 housing... designs? No. Housing areas. Imperium. Okay, so there's Mist, which is, Lenosha. Lavender Beds, which is Shroud. Goblet, which is Thanalin. Shirogane. Oh, you're right, it is Imperium. Okay. Shirogane, and then Imperium. So those are the 5. So this Mist, Lavender Beds, Goblet, Shirogane, Imperium. I'm pretty sure my apartment is in Mist. Otherwise, it's in Shirogane. It's in one of those 2. It has to be one of those 2, because I was like, where would I want my place? Somewhere near the beach, right? Somewhere where there's a beach. And those 2 places have beaches, you know? Have beaches. Hi, Golden. Welcome in. 5. Yeah. Plan to get a condo soon? Yeah, remember you telling me about that before. I'm totally down. Just let me know when. I'll be playing again at the end of August event, so after the 15th. Sometime after the 15th. I was thinking of doing, like, Friday nights we stream it, so that I can catch up on the story and everything, and then we can get like people to come in and like play with me, you know what I mean? Kind of do like Friday night community nights on Final Fantasy 14, you know? I was like, what should I do to call you? What should I do? Wait, I was like, what should I do? How can we help more? No, you guys are so good. I'm okay. I didn't play games anymore. Kind of just dropped off and lost interest. That's so fair. That's completely fair, McFridays. You can't play games forever, right? There has to be a time where you're just like, okay, I need to do other things now, you know? I don't play 14 much anymore, but I memorize housing plots because I'm dedicated to MMO housing. So fair, Diedrich. I still keep up my homes in EverQuest and Rift. Wait, there's houses in EverQuest and Rift? Hi, mates! Welcome and how are you? Sometimes you pick it up and just never leave it alone. Right? There's certain games I'm just like, I really want to get back into them, but it's so hard to like find the time to do it. Hi, Ruffle. How are you? Didn't sleep the best last night. No, get some good rest, Golden. Yeah, lay down in bed. Lay down in bed and have a good sleep. How long has it been for thighs only? Has it been over 30 minutes? I need to double check. It's been 23 minutes. Okay, so 7 more minutes. Thank you for the forehead kiss. I can't see my request queue. So, moderators, can you do me a favor? Is there any redeems that I need to take action for? Probably leaving it alone, but enjoying gym, walks, and going to clubs. Well, that's good. That's good. Gym and walks are really nice. I've never really been into clubs or bars, but did someone say 14? I did, Kono. I said at the end of my birthday event in August, so probably starting on the 3rd week of August, I'll be picking up and playing Final Fantasy 14. Da, da, da. Hi, Sauron. Welcome in. How are you? Indeed, Final Fantasy 14 housing is a newer design, but the lower feature of EverQuest 2's housing removed some features for anti-FOMO purposes. Really? Almost 25 more minutes. Okay. My current personal favorite housing is PAX Day because the customization is great, but the monetization is kind of crude. There was this game I used to play called Swords of Legends Online. The housing for that game was so freaking fun. Hi, Mesa! Welcome in. Thank you for the flowers. No one so far? Okay. No ASMR requests reading. Well, there's not going to be any ASMR requests today because we're doing a reading. But if there's an ara ara or a forehead kiss, those are the 2, or a care package. Those are the 3 that I have to where I physically have to do something. And pretty much hunt the perfect combo of Sims and adventuring. The hunt never ends. See, that's the thing with Sims, right? I like the Sims, and I like that they have a fantasy element, but it's not as fantastical, right, as like a wuxia game, right? If I wanted to build like a really pretty courtyard or something like that, it's not. It's going to be like a modernized version of it, you know? And I like the modern versions of it, but I still kind of think I prefer playing a game with more of a fantasy setting, like Fantasy 14, where I could have that house, right? And I understand why Fantasy 14 has their houses on the lotto base, because there's only so many plots, etc, 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 right? Because there's so many people. I get it. I get it. But it still hurts my heart that we literally did an entire stream of me getting my house and decorating it, and all that stuff is just gone now. I have nothing to show for it other than that stream. You know what I mean? Which is not bad. It's not bad. Trust me. But I was so upset. And August, baby. Yeah, August 6th, next week. Can't believe my birthday's next week. 220 years old. Jesus. The head pets can't be seen this time. It's true. Solo. Diedrich, did you play Swords of Legends? Did you play Swords of... Wait, hold on. No, shut up. Wait. Now I have to show you guys. Some of my Swords of Legends pictures, because we talked about it and someone knows what I'm talking about. Oh my god. Trust that you've all been doing well. I'm actually doing great myself, truth be told. How about you? I'm doing good. I had a really good day today. I hurt my thumb earlier, but otherwise, I think I had a really nice day. In that case, Golden requests a forehead kiss. Yes, I did see that one. No, you guys are good. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Fubuki. That's all I see. Thank you. How are you doing tonight? I'm good, Ryuk. How are you? Hi, Ivan. Hi, JTav. How are you? How's your night? How you doing? Where Winds Meet added player housing sack design is pretty good now. I've heard some things about Where the Winds Meet, and I do want to pick it up and play it again. Like, I have the game. I've played it a little bit. It's not as... It's close. It's close to Swords of Legends, right? But not quite. Not quite. Okay, let me show you guys some of the photos from Swords of Legends, because we talked about it, so now it's happening. This one? Yes. Okay. Here we go. So this is my character from Swords of Legends. This is what my character looks like. Oh, yeah, or this is what my character looked like. So freaking cute, right? I had a little panda on my shoulder. I loved that game so much. Stopped because Reddit kind of took over discourse. Web hosting not worth it. For solo, yeah, it did. First time I rolled pure magic, the hottie, the fit is hard, right? Ugh, it's so good. And it's one of those games where you can like change your character and the outfit as much as you like, right? And it's not going to, it was all glamour outfits, right? Because the armor itself, it wasn't bad, but in comparison to the actual like outfits, so you can have more than one character. This was I went summoner class. This was my male summoner. And you could do this there was this like celebration that you did, right? There was a celebration that you did as a summoner to celebrate you becoming a fresh summoner, right? So here he is, and you still see the panda on my shoulder here. It's right there. I put it on his shoulder too, because you purchase it once and it was account wide, so you can use it on any character, right? It wasn't like it was only for that one character. You purchase the item and you can use it on any of your characters. So if I had like 5 different characters and each character was a different class, oh, and we're back, and each character was a different class, right? Then I could, what's it called? I could have an item that can go across. Obviously, this is a male body outfit. They had a female version, but I couldn't like put this outfit on my female characters. Hi, Parfait, welcome in. Hi. Hiding all our hopes. Stay with me forever. Hi, Parfait. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukya. I'm a siren with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe. If you guys would like a drink, we could do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa. However, the cake is extra. How are you? How was stream? We were literally just talking about Final Fantasy XIV. I was saying that starting on like the 15th or the 16th of August, I'll be restarting or picking up the game again to play. Hi, Nix. Welcome in. How are you? We're just talking about MMOs now. And this is like, I'm saying my favorite housing game ever was Swords of Legends. You are? I am. This is also my favorite character. The way I had to like jump on this statue just to put my character into the statue's hand for that photo. Specifically for that photo. Awesome. We were checking out the new patch today. Wait, the new patch already dropped? Oh, I still need... So I haven't paid for anything after Endwalkers, so I still need to pick up the next 2. So that's why I'm like, I need to finish Endwalkers, and then I'm gonna pick up the next 2 patches. And then I'm gonna start playing Final Fantasy XIV again, starting after the 15th. Sometime after the 15th, which will probably be like that Friday. New patch, yeah. Intentional, but the raid music doesn't seem to play. It is, because it's ASMR night, and I want the music to be very specific. While I do ASMR nights. I just started 14. You just started? Doing well? I'm doing good. Have you played Swords of Justice online? The solo spiritual successor. I didn't play it much. The housing at level 30. So, I didn't know Swords of Justice was out. I didn't know it was out. I've I seen some stuff of Swords of Justice, but I didn't know it was already out. It's called Swords of Justice online. Sword of Justice. Open world, MMO, defies traditional, stunning visuals and immersive, lifelike atmosphere, deeply influences the game world, step into pulsing martial arts world, breathtaking allure. I mean, the art is very pretty. It definitely makes me think of Swords of Legends by looking at it. It really makes me think of Swords of Legends by looking at it. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. New patch. Just had the scariest experience of my life in a while, sitting here playing on my phone. Come to eye to eye with the biggest jumping spider on your phone? I didn't know that. Sorry for the late response. You're good, Tal. Just checking. No, you're good. Swords of Justice has a decent VTuber scene as well, if you get into it. Nice community. Really? Okay, I'm gonna add that to my library right now. Because I have been looking for a solo, because we used to call the game Swords of Legends Online Solo, S-O-L-O, Solo. We used to call it Solo, right? I used to play Solo all the time, so I've been looking for something that's very much like it. Coming! Thank you for the forehead kiss. I watch a few people and heavy into PAX Day crafting. Haven't had time to switch. I get it. Contain a plastic case waiting for someone braver than me to go free it outside. You know, that's so fair. That's so fair. Hi, Solo Wing. Welcome in. How are you? But yeah, this is still same character. So the outfit she's wearing right now, so in the game, in Swords of Legends, each character, depending on the class, had a like your summoner gear, had the gear that you got after you completed like your initiation, right? So the outfit that I'm wearing here with the headpiece and everything, with the earrings and the shoulder pieces and all that, right? That was specifically just for the summoner class. Okay, just for the summoner class. Here I am again, taking a picture with two of my friends. They had a moonlight festival thing, and so we took pictures on the boat, right? Same character. This is still my character. This is still my character. Different outfit, different hair. Same character, different outfit, different hair. Taking, I'm like laying down on the ground right here. Again, same character. Still just me. I was not obsessed with my character at all, I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Hope you enjoy it. I don't know how well it compares to Solo, but the aesthetic's definitely there. That's what I really liked about Solo also, was I liked this aesthetic, and one other thing is the flying around. The flying around. This was a once in a lifetime picture. I don't know how I got my character to wink, but I did. Same character with the panda on my head. Oh yeah. I don't know. We were so stupid, me and my friends, just on our different fox mounts. Just hanging over the edge, and one person on a panda. The COVID panda. The COVID panda was crazy. So funny. Another character. This was not my character. This was somebody else's. This was a friend's character. I just really liked how they made them look. So I took a picture. This is mine. This was one of mine. This was my friend. Another friend. Me and another friend. Oh, I loved that outfit. Just with the Genko leaves. Oh my god, so freaking pretty. Accusing him of stealing or something. I don't know. dancing. That character that I'm standing next to, that was an NPC. Flappy Jade, that was an NPC that I'm standing next to. Me and some friends sitting down, taking photographs together, because we can. Same thing. One of my friends, the one that's on the far left, he took a potion that changes you into a female NPC for like 10 minutes. So what he really looks like is actually that guy on the far right. Or sorry, far left. Me and that friend. I don't remember who, it's been so long, so I don't remember whose character this was, right? Oh yeah, this was a really pretty one. I managed to get it during this event. Big ol' yaoi hands. Oh yeah, big ol' yaoi hands. Da, 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 da. That's an NPC. That's me and an NPC that I was secretly romantically smitten with. And the funny thing is when you stood close to the characters, they would actually look at you, so it looks like he's infatuated with me, and I'm just like, yeah, that's picture. Escándalo, right? Okay. Hear me out about this one, okay? Hear me out about this one. So one of the items that you could purchase, right, was like a team item or something, right? And those of you guys can't see the whole thing, okay? Let me show you the whole thing, because it cuts it off at the very end, at the very bottom. Hold on. There we go. Let me just expand this so you guys can see the whole thing, okay? So this is the picture, okay? This is the whole picture. Alright, now let me explain. So one of the items that you can pick up, and like, you have to pay for it, right? It's an item that you have to pay for. But one of the items that you can get in the game is a hot spring. And you can basically use the hot spring anywhere in the entire, into the entire game, right? Anywhere in the world in the game, you can just throw out a hot spring, and up to 4 to 6 people could sit in the hot spring with you, right? Because there was places that your character would go and sit into. Somehow I glitched the hot spring because I was already sitting down, and I got up to like move over to another spot because my friend wanted to come and sit with us, so I moved over to so they can sit like between me and another friend. But I didn't know that he was going to sit in the spot that I was. So we both clicked on the same spot, and we both ended up sitting in that same spot together. So it looks like he's sitting on my lap. I thought it was so funny. I had to take a picture. It was so stupid. Me laying down and checking out. So that's a statue. That's a statue of one of the NPCs. Sounds like an isekai. It 100% was. So the guy with the eye shield on his face, eye shield's right, the like eye bandages on his face, he is the leader of one of the in-game classes, right? Because there was the summoners, oh gosh, what were they called? Hold on. Let me just tell you like the different weapons that they used, right? So there's the summoners, there's the people who use swords, the more like heavy hammer, big sword characters. There was the nighttime characters that use scythes, right? And then there was bards. Each of them, all the different characters had different like weapons and different classes, right? And they all had their own different like guilds. So this guy was the guild of the scythe users. I forget what they called them. I don't remember the name of them. Reapers, thank you. This is right, it was, so summoners, reapers, bards, berserkers, and something else, the blue guys, I don't remember. So he was leader of the Reapers, and in the game, with real money, you could purchase statues to decorate your house. Spell swords. Thank you, spell swords. Titanic recreation in game. I freaking wish. So I took a picture of me laying down in the bed that I placed in my house. And I made it look like I was looking at him. Because why the fuck not? But I will have to say, that character that's standing there is basically a statue, right? It's a housing statue item that you could pick up in the game. Because otherwise he was not in the game. Like, he was just nowhere, you know? Camera work is amazing. Thank you. Oh, I dream of this mount. I dream of this mount. This is my favorite mount. I used this one so often. Fluffy Hans Dragon. Yes. Hi, Kaiser. This was my Chilin. I think that's how you say it. Quilin. I think that's how you spell it. They had a frost one and they had a fire one. I got both, but this was my favorite one. And they flew around, and you would like sit on the back of them. And one of the things that you could do with some mounts is you could pose with them. With Chilin, this is how you could pose with them. Just like fall asleep on their side. And I was just like, how do you not take a picture of that? There's me again with my friend and a scene he set up because he could. Our COVID pandas. I had pink hair for a while. Me floating in the void because the area behind me refused to load. But you guys like my outfit? I'm a fluffy bunny. This is 14. No, this is an older game. This is Swords of Legends Online. Well, okay, maybe not older. This is a different game. This is Swords of Legends Online. Pretty. Right? Ugh. Speaking of mount, if you do... Ooh, go back to 14 soon. There's an event to get a unicorn mount. 3 subs, though. Wait, costs 3 subs? What do you mean costs 3 subs? What do you mean by that? Is this something else? Pretty? Source of Legends? Does it still exist? It does not. No, the game... It doesn't exist in NA. It only exists in, Chinese servers, I think. Alsvid Whistle? Let's use this, because we're almost done with the photos. Wait. Only get it by paying for 3 subs. Can't sub yourself and gift 2 or gift 3. The deal is, if you gift 3 subs on a channel that's streaming Final Fantasy XIV, and you get a unicorn mount. What? Okay, I need this mount. Hi, Kaiser! Welcome to Have a Good Lyric. There was an item that you could take that turned you into snowmen. So, me and my friends turned ourselves into snowmen. Oh my god. We cooked my friend. Do you guys see? Like, okay. There's food right here, and then we're all like just talking around, and one of my other friends is up here in this thing cooking themselves. We're so stupid. This is my friend Trains. Shit's cooked. Leftover bounds. No, that's a person. I was doing a photo shoot with my friend because he wanted pictures of his character. So I was just like, okay, I'll take pictures with you. So I snagged this one. It looks like he's about to drop some sick beats. This is me and him just kind of sitting down, hanging out. Dancing behind him. Watching the moon, watching the what are they called? Fireflies together, watching the fireflies together. Making me nostalgic for my own MMO memories. This me looks like I'm cleaning out my ear, and he's just like, "Stop moving. We're gonna take a picture." And I'm just like, ugh. I love that outfit so much. My friend copied me. Same outfit, different body types. We have this. We have the ears and the hair and the outfits. It was so funny to do stuff like this. Me and another friend. Same friend. One of the things that you could fly on, right? And one of the mounts was literally a flute. Okay, you had a flute. But it was a meme. It was a meme flute. Because if you tried to fly higher, because your character would hover, and then it would like fly. But when you flew, the flute would attach itself to your back, and you'd flap your arms. It was so stupid. Oh, now we get into some spicy pictures. Some spicy pictures. Here we go. Pretty spicy. You could, if you put 2 beds on, because all the beds in the houses, you could only put 1 person, right? Only 1 person could lay down on the bed at a time. But if you put 2 beds, one on top of the other, it looks like you could lay together on the bed. Spooning, right? Imagine. Big Spoon, writing this down. I don't mind being Big Spoon. Sometimes I want to be Little Spoon, though. But I don't mind being Big Spoon, too. You are an architect. Thank you. It should have been me! Well, you didn't play the game back then, Vic. They can only face one direction. Yeah, if I tried to put the bed in the other direction, right, then his face, like, he would be looking in the same direction as me, as if he was looking, sorry, he'd be looking at me, but he'd be looking at my feet. Because your character's head would only go to one particular set. The head of the bed was always the head of the bed, regardless of, like, which direction the bed was in, you know? You come here and be my little spoon. From these screenshots. Right, Valonia? Right? I don't remember what this was. I just thought it was really funny that my friend could stand on my head. And so I took a picture. Oh, right. Okay. So in the story, isn't that a cute little panda? Or sorry, not panda, a cute little penguin on my shoulder? So in the story of the game, one of the characters sacrifices themselves so that you could escape. He actually dies, and one of the side quests that you can do is you go and you meet and you talk to his ghost. And I was just like, I need a picture. So I had myself go to where his ghost was and cry because it was too perfect. We're snoozing one more time. This was one of my favorite outfits. I freaking loved this outfit so much. Cause, like, look at the shoes and the boots, and then, like, with the shoulder things, the mask and the horns are not a part of it, but oh my god, I wish they were. So like I was saying earlier, you can get a same outfit and it would show up differently depending on if you're male or female, right? So these 2 characters are wearing the same exact blue, like, shinobi outfit. This is what it looked like on the males, and this is what it looked like on the females. So, remember this game was a Berserker player. You played Swords of Legends 2, Roses? Oh my god. Like an easy guy thing, exactly. And then we're all just kind of sitting down. That's me. This is me in my gothic outfit. Of course I had a gothic outfit. This is me right here with the bunny outfit. I freaking loved this bunny outfit. It was so cute. But I have this outfit in this color. I took a picture earlier. I'll have to go back to show you. There it is. One of my favorite mounts was Neja's wheels. Neja's flaming wheels. And you know how like each game usually has like a hub, like a main city hub, right? So in 14 there's different city hubs, right? There's Limsa, there's other places, I can't think of them. So this was the main city hub of Source of Legends, right? So you had your shops and your bank and everything down here, and then like the big building was like the palace. It was huge. It was so good, wasn't it? Ugh, I missed the game. Gridania, yes. I'm really sucker for Murin, so I will fully enjoy this game. This game doesn't exist anymore, at least in NA servers. You could probably still find it on like Chinese or Asian servers, like East servers, but there's no more West servers. Hi, Catboy, welcome in. Doing a Final Fantasy VII club? Are they doing a club right now? Ah, dude, I'm so sad. I'm not gonna get my thing. This was another one of my favorite mounts. Okay, so the turtle did not fly, but the panda did. This was my character. No. This was my character. I loved this freaking... Oh. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see the whole thing. Those are on mobile, I'm sorry. This is my character right here. There we go. That's my character. I love the weapon that I'm using. It's, like, ocean kind of themed, and it has, like, coral and stuff like that on it. So heckin' pretty. But this was one of my favorite mounts to use. It was literally a flying panda. Oh my god. Oh yeah, wedding pictures between me and one of my friends. This was the wedding outfit. Hot spring. Just me and a friend hanging out in a hot spring. Another picture of me accusing somebody. Yes, me with the cat statue with all the cats dancing in my bunny outfit. Me and another friend just taking pictures. So they had wings like this, right? And they had different colored ones. So you can get the pink and white ones only once a week. And it was only for a little bit of time. And it was like because you got the most friendship points from anyone else on the whole server. I managed to get it just once. So I took full advantage and took as many pictures in the pink wings as I could. I had to. Looks like ads are good. I can't snooze the ads anymore. We're gonna save that last one just in case we need it later. But this is pretty much what I did a majority of my time after we beat the story. I just sat around taking pictures with me and my friend. I'm actually thinking, oh yeah, here's the white wings. These ones you could just purchase and buy and use. But I'm thinking of getting art done of my OC and some of my favorite outfits from the game. Because I have a website that still showcases all the outfits. But for now, we're going to go ahead. We didn't finish looking at all the pictures, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to switch on over. We're going to do a quick BRB, and then once we get back, we will do Frankenstein reading. So I will be right back. Okay, you guys didn't hear that. You guys did not hear that, okay? God damn it. I used the wrong music, and I didn't even notice until right now. Oh, you totally didn't hear that, okay? Just, you heard nothing. No, you heard nothing. You guys didn't hear the music. Must have been the wind. Exactly. It was the wind. It was the wind. Well, I'm so stupid. Heard nothing. I didn't hear a thing. Nope. Okay, good. Yeah, that's right. Nothing happened. It was this the whole time. Something happened? Exactly. Blame Fubuki? Oh, okay. I was gonna say blame Pinoy, but I mean, I guess we could blame Fubuki too, I suppose. Nothing ever happened. Exactly. Oh my god. Okay, so you guys heard it. Don't even pretend you didn't. I'm just gonna say it now. That is the ASMR reading music that I commissioned from a wonderful, amazing musician by the name of Doobie, D-O-O-B-I-I, Doobie. I was in talks with them for a little bit, and we got some. I was really hoping to share it next week on Monday with you guys, but a little sneak peek. We'll just call it a sneak peek. There we go. It was just a sneak peek. Listen, that's me. That's my upset noise. No. Doobie. The artist who did the new ASMR background sound that we have. Their name is Doobie. Let me give you guys their link. D-O-O-U-B-I-I. Here we go. This is the artist who did the new ASMR background. Not the one we're listening to right now, but the one we'll start listening to starting on Monday. Because like I said, I have a couple new scenes, new widgets, stuff like that. That was one of the things I wanted to show off, but I'm dumb and I showed you guys too early. But like I said, it's just a little hint, just a little taste test. Misheard that horribly. I need to get my ears checked. You do. It's true. You do. But, alright. Let's see. We didn't get any subs today, but we're gonna do some reading tonight, as usual. A little entree, yes, a little taste test, a little schmackerel. Lent, thank you for the follow, by the way. Thank you so much. But tonight is reading night, and we will be reading Frankenstein. If I could just get my chair to actually sit where I need it to sit while I read this. I actually heard nothing. Good. That's all I needed you guys to say. Let me do something really quick. Okay. There we go. Much better. Alright. We are on chapter 14. Alright, so the last thing that happened is Frankenstein, after the trial of the murderer to his younger brother. He goes up into the mountains to try and find his creation. We've been calling Frankenstein's monster Adam. We've been calling him Adam. So after he goes up into the mountains to try and find Adam, he sees him, and Adam walks up to him and speaks to him. And now we're basically learning how Adam basically survived for the year after his creation without Victor, without Frankenstein. I feel like I should gift Fubuki now. You feel like you should gift Fubuki now? What do you mean? Cult classic story. Yes, it's such a good story. I'm really glad that we've picked it up and started reading this one. But yes. Praying there's no mysterious popping tonight. Oh, for my headset? Yeah. I mean, okay, so I got the new headset, the replacement from the last one. So I don't think that anything like that is going to happen. Because if it does, if this headset breaks, and it hasn't even been 2 years after I had it, right? I'm gonna freaking cry. And then I'm just gonna spend the money to get a different one. But you said there was no subs. I gift my pookies. Huh? I said there was no subs. I said there was no subs. When did I say that? Huh? I feel like you just like blew my mind at me trying to like remember when I said that. Oh, daily subs, right. Daily subs. There was no subs today. Yes, it doesn't look like there was any subs today or any bits. And the reason I could tell is because I could see the daily sub count at the top, right there. And just to make sure, I can scroll through my events because I can't see my redeems. Oh. I'm so sorry. Donna K, thank you for the follow. I didn't see that earlier. I don't think we had any today, right? Let me just, yep, no subs today. Because normally what I do is if we reach the daily sub goal on reading nights, I will change my outfit. Otherwise, I will stay as I am. Guess setting isn't real. Long ago. Before time had a name. Exactly. It's true. It's true. Okay, so. With Frankenstein now speaking to his creature. Oh. Thank you, Raffle. Thank you so much for gifting a sub over to Vile. Vile, please enjoy this emote, and as always, welcome to Favorite Cafe. Let me go ahead and add a kiss to myself for you, Raffle. Let's see. AJ, thank you so much for gifting a sub over to Fubuki. Fubuki, enjoy this emotes, and as always, welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'll put this one right there. There we go. And then AJ, you want a kiss too? Let's see. We'll do hot pink. Oh, I didn't need to move myself. Oh, no, I don't want that. There we go, so I don't accidentally move myself again. There we go. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. If we reach today's sub goal, then I will change my outfit to the new one that we picked up yesterday, or that off-shoulder one. that we got the week before. Or maybe the white shirt, actually. Maybe the white shirt. It's been a while. Anyways. So Frankenstein meets his creation, meets Adam. Ow! Why are you pinching me? Hi, Sloth. How are you? And after he meets with him, that's when that's when Adam starts telling him his story. And Adam tells him that that he escaped the city, or ran away from the city, and ran into the nearby woods of the city. And while he was there, he fed himself basically nuts and berries and stuff like that off the land. But eventually there was nothing in his immediate vicinity, so he had to move on. And while he went around, he found scraps of clothing and food left over from other people who were traveling in the woods. So after he finds that, he manages to go into a town. And before, he was just like, oh, I'll just go into this house. Because he doesn't know about trespassing. He doesn't know that he looks horrible and ugly, right? So he goes into this house to try and get some food, but the people that live there see him and they scream and they start throwing things and yelling at him and chasing him out of town, right? So he leaves town and he goes into Michael, thank you so much for the 8 gifted subs. Over to Dawnbreaker, Destruct, 6 Cents Asian, Open J, Michael Higgs, Llama Tripper, War Pillow, and Judeo. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for the resubs. If you guys, or for the resubs, right? Thank you so much for the gifted subs. If you guys got a sub earlier, make sure to say thank you to Michael. But for now, 35% off 5 subs or more. What? Is that going on right now? It is. In the next 5 minutes, if you guys do 5 subs or more, apparently it's going to be 35% off. That's cool. I didn't activate that, but that's cool. Michael, did you... Actually, no, I'll pick. I will pick. You guys don't get to pick. I'll pick this one. Let's see, what do I feel like? What outfit do I feel like? You know what? Yes, we will do the Valentine's shirt. Just gonna change. Alright. There we go. Perfect. Much better. Really quick. No, I kind of like my arm up. There we go. Much better. Much better. Okay, so where were we? Worth it. Is it more beneficial for you if we do subs now or during your event week? Definitely during the event week. Only because all the funds from bits and subs and direct donations are going to go into the 2.0, which is going to be this one. This is the design that we're getting for the 2.0. I know it's just a sketch right now. Me and Inky are working on the full 2.0 design, but all bits and subs and donations will be going towards this starting next week for the next 2 weeks. So from August 3rd through the 14th. So if you guys are thinking of doing any donations or anything like that, I'd say wait until next week. Otherwise, anything that you use right or do right now is going to go towards basically so whatever I get this month, I'm going to use next month for what's it called? Basically, it's not a secret. I've been talking about redoing my room, and I've been doing pieces here and there, right? I got a new bed, I got a new bookshelf. I want to get a new desk and a new dresser. So everything that is going to go towards that will be from whatever you guys do this month, right? So, anyways, holding to the birthday event week, charging up like Goku Spirit Bomb. So on the birthday event week, the goals that we have, there's going to be personal incentives as well as individual things. So incentives such as if you do 5 subs or more, I will eat a spicy, sorry, if you do 5 subs, I eat a spicy candy. If you do 10 subs, I will write a post-it note and I will stick it onto myself. If you do 20 subs or more, I will get a magic marker, what's it called? Not a magic marker. I'll get a permanent marker and I'll write your name on my thighs, take a picture and post it into the Discord. Top 3 gifters will get a handwritten card. If you do not want to give me your address, I have a way to send it to you virtually. A special Discord role, as well as a walk-on toggle. So like Sage, when she comes in and she says something in chat, I get a little purple flower that sticks up on my hair. So for you, I can get something like that too. It's something that won't be like a really big thing, but it'll be something that every time you do say something in, or not something, the first time you say something in chat, it pops up. So it's a personal walk-on. The incentives for the entire thing start off with chat picks my Discord PFP and my status for a month, new redeems, a new Ko-Fi voice pack. There's a safer work version as well as an NSFW version, which that one will be put behind a paywall because it is NSFW. There's games that I'll play like Fortnite, Warframe, games that I said I probably would not pick up on my own to play. So those are games that you guys basically will force me to play. There's also different streams like ear lickies for ASMR. What's it called? Different ASMR streams, different game streams, different incentives like the Ko-Fi pack. One of the ones that we've played with and we've talked about it is I will actually commission an artist to do a printable bookmark for you guys to print out and use for yourselves. And it'll be free to use and print out whenever you'd like to on Ko-Fi, same like the voice packs. So, for donating for the chance of a white shirt. I thought so. I thought you would agree. But, hi Torellis, welcome in. How are you? How are you? How's your night? Are you doing well? Getting back into, and that all starts next Monday, okay? That all starts next Monday for the big event. Like I said, it's Monday through Friday, and then I'm taking Saturday, Sunday off, and then starting up the following Monday on the 10th, and then we have a sponsorship on the 12th, and then we're going to have another one, I believe, on the 13th it was? I believe it was the 13th. So, going back into what's going on in the book with Frankenstein and Adam, we call Frankenstein's creature Adam. It's kinder than calling him a creature or a monster, because Adam is anything but. So after he gets kicked out of the town that he tried to get food from, he finds himself in a hollow that's right next to this house. And from his hollow, he can peer into the house where the people are. And he doesn't quite understand what they're saying, but he reads their expressions and their faces to such an extent that he can actually understand the feelings that they are having based off of their body language and their facial expressions. And while he's there, this family, it's a father, a son, and their and the daughter. So it's a father and his 2 children, right? So a daughter and a son. And they're very, very poor, and they're constantly like worried about food and stuff like that. So he tries not to steal from them to get food, and he goes into the woods to feed himself. And while he's there, he will pick up food and stuff like that for the people that he's like watching. One day during spring, a woman shows up at the house, and she's good friends with the boy. I forget his name already. We'll find out the son's name in the next chapter. And he starts teaching her their language. So while the boy is teaching the woman whatever language it is, Felix, that's his name. So while Felix is teaching the woman, her name is Safi. So Felix is teaching Safi how to speak their language, which I'm guessing is English. That's when Adam starts to pick up language and words as well. So he's beginning to understand the words that they're saying. He's being taught at the same time, though inadvertently. Hi, Polly. Welcome in, welcome. And thanks so much for coming in and saying that. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm trying so hard not to sneeze right now. All right. Okay. Quick care package. Everybody, quick care package. So sit up straight at your desk. Tilt your head to the left. And tilt your head to the right. Look up. And look down. Sit up and drink some water. All right. Just recenter myself. Okay. Let's get into the book. We're on chapter 14. And if you would like to join us, there is the link to the book. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. Chapter 14. Some time elapsed before I heard the history of my friends. It was one which could not fail to impress itself deeply on my mind, unfolding as it did a number of circumstances, each interesting and wonderful to one so utterly inexperienced as I. The name of the old man was de Lacy. He was descended from a good family in France, where he had lived for many years in affluence, respected by his superiors and beloved by his equals. His son was bred in the service of his country, and Agatha was ranked with ladies of the highest distinction. A few months before my arrival, they had lived in a large and luxurious city called Paris, surrounded by friends and possessed of every enjoyment and virtue, refinement and intellect or taste, accompanied by a moderate fortune, could afford. the father of Safi, had been the cause of their ruin. He was a Turkish merchant and had inhabited Paris for many years, when for some reason which I could not learn he became obnoxious to the government. He was seized and cast into prison the very day that Safi arrived from Constantinople to join him. He was tried and condemned to death. The injustice of his sentence was very flagrant. All Paris was indignant, and it was judged that his religion and wealth, rather than the crime alleged against him, had been the cause of his condemnation. Felix had accidentally been present at the trial. His horror and indignation were uncontrollable when he heard the decision of the court. He made, at that moment, a solemn vow to deliver him, and then looked around for the means. After many fruitless attempts to gain admittance into the prison, he found a strongly grated window in an unguarded part of the building, which lighted the dungeon of the unfortunate Muhammadan, who, loaded with chains, waited in despair the execution of his barbarous sentence. Felix visited the grate at night and made known to the prisoner his intentions in his favour. The Turk, amazed and delighted, endeavoured to kindle the zeal of his deliverer by promises of reward and wealth. Felix rejected his offers with contempt, yet, when he saw the lovely Safi, who was allowed to visit her father, and who, by her gestures, expressed her lively gratitude, the youth could not help owing to his own mind that the captive possessed a treasure which would fully reward his toil and hazard. The Turk quickly perceived the impression that his daughter had made the heart. The Turk quickly perceived the impression that his daughter had made on the heart of Felix, and endeavoured to secure him more entirely in his interests by the promise of her hand in marriage so soon as he should be conveyed to a place of safety. Felix was too delicate to accept this offer, yet he looked forward to the probability of the event as to the consummation of his happiness. During the ensuing days, while the preparations were going forward for the escape of the merchant, the zeal of Felix was warmed by several letters that he received from this lovely girl, who found means to express her thought in the language of her lover by the aid of an old man, a servant of her father, who understood French. She thanked him in the most ardent terms for his intended services towards her parent, and at the time she gently deplored her own fate. I have copies of these letters, for I found means, during my residence in the hovel, to procure the implements of writing, and the letters were often in the hands of Felix or Agatha. Before I depart, I will give them to you. They will prove the truth of my tale, but at present, as the sun is already far declined, I shall only have time to repeat the substances of them to you. Safi related that her mother was a Christian Arab, seized and made slave by the Turks. Recommended by her beauty, she had won the heart of the father of Safi, who married her. The young girl spoke in high and enthusiastic terms of her mother, who, born in freedom, spurned the bondage to which she was now reduced. She instructed her daughter in the tenets of her religion and taught her to aspire to higher powers of intellect and an independence of spirits forbidden to the female followers of Muhammad. This lady died, but her lessons were indelibly impressed on the mind of Safi, who, sickened at the prospect of again returning to Asia and being immured within the walls of a harem, allowed only to occupy herself with infantile amusements, ill-suited to the temper of her soul, now accustomed to grand ideas of a noble emulation of virtue. The prospect of marrying a Christian and remaining in a country where women were allowed to take rank in society was enchanting to her. The day for the execution of the Turk was fixed, but on the night previous to it, he quitted his prison and before morning was distant many leagues from Paris. Felix had procured passports in the name of his father, sister, and himself. He had previously communicated his plans to the former, who aided the deceit by quitting his house under the pretense of a journey and concealed himself with his daughter in an obscure part of Paris. Felix conducted the fugitives through France to Lyons and across Montseny to Leghorn, where the merchant had decided to wait a favourable opportunity of passing into some part of the Turkish dominions. Safie resolved to remain with her father until the moment of his departure, before which time the Turk renewed his promise that she should be united with his deliverer, and Felix remained with them in expectation of that event, and in the meantime he enjoyed the society of the Arabian, who exhibited towards him the simplest and tenderest affections. They conversed with one another through the means of an interpreter, and sometimes with the interpretation of looks, and Safie sang to him the divine airs of her native country. The Turk allowed his intimacy to take place and encouraged the hopes of the youthful lovers, while his heart he had formed far other plans. He loathed the idea that his daughter should be united to a Christian, but he feared the resentment of Felix if he should appear lukewarm, for he knew that he was still in the power of his deliverer, if he should choose to betray him to the Italian state which they inhabited. He revolted 1,000 plans by which he should be enabled to prolong the deceit until it might no longer be necessary, and secretly to take his daughter with him when he departed. His plans were facilitated by the news which arrived from Paris. The government of France were greatly enraged at the escape of their victim, and spared no pains to detect and punish his deliverer. The plot of Felix was quickly discovered, and De Lacy and Agatha were thrown into prison. The news reached Felix and roused him from his dream of pleasures. His blind and aged father and his gentle sister lay in a noisome dungeon, while he enjoyed the free air and the society of her whom he loved. This idea was torturous to him. He boarded at a convent in Leghorn, and then, quitting the lovely Arabian, he hastened to Paris and delivered himself up to the vengeances of the law, hoping to free De Lacy and Agatha by this proceeding. He did not succeed. They remained confined for 5 months before the trial took place, the result of which deprived them of their fortune and condemned them to perpetual exile from their native country. They found a miserable asylum in the cottage of Germany, where I discovered them. Felix soon learned that the treacherous Turk, for whom he and his family endured such unheard of oppression, on discovering that his deliverer was thus reduced to poverty and ruin, became a traitor to good feeling and honour, and had quitted Italy with his daughter, insultingly sending Felix a pittance of money to aid him, as he said, in some plan of future maintenance. Such were the events that preyed the hearts of Felix, and rendered him, when I first saw him, the most miserable of his family. He could have endured poverty, and while his distress had been the meed of his virtue, he gloried in it. But the ingratitude of the Turk and the loss of his beloved Safie were misfortunes more bitter and irreparable. The arrival of the Arabian now infused new life into his soul. When the news reached Leghorn that Felix was deprived of his wealth and rank, the merchant commanded his daughter to think no more of her lover, but to prepare to return to her native country. The generous nature of Safi was outraged by this command. She attempted to expostulate with her father, but he left her angrily, reiterating his tyrannical mandate. A few days after, the Turk entered his daughter's apartment and told her hastily he had reason to believe that his residence at Leghorn had been divulged, and that he should speedily be delivered up to the French government. He had consequently hired a vessel to convey him to Constantinople, for which he should sail in a few hours. He intended to leave his daughter under the care of a confidential servant, to follow at her leisure with the greater part of his property, which had not yet arrived at Leghorn. When alone, Safi resolved in her own mind the plan of conduct that it would become When alone, Safi resolved in her own mind the plan of conduct that it would become her to pursue in his emergency. A residence in Turkey was abhorrent to her. Her religion and her feelings were alike averse to it. By some papers of her father which fell into her hands, she heard of the exile of her lover and learnt the name of the spot where he then resided. She hesitated some time, but at length she formed her determination. Taking with her some jewels that belonged to her and the sum of money, she quitted Italy with an attendant, a native of Leghorn, but who understood the common language of Turkey, and parted for Germany. She arrived in safety, a town about 20 leagues from the cottage of de Lacy, when her attendant fell gravely ill. Safi nursed her with the most devoted affection, but the poor girl died, and the Arabian was left alone, unacquainted with the language of the country and utterly ignorant of the customs of the world. She fell, however, into good hands. The Italian had mentioned the name of the spot for which they were bound, and after her death, the woman of the house in which they had lived took care that Safi should arrive in safety at the cottage of her lover. Poor Felix, poor family. Hi, Dusty. Hi, Ocean, welcome in. How are you? James says, supposed to be asleep, but here I am, long 10-hour shift. Too tired to eat, not tired enough to sleep. Have a good night, James. Get some good rest. Thank you for the care package. Let's do a quick care package, everybody. So, sit up at your desk, tilt your head to the left, and tilt your head to the right. Oof. That was a good crack. Look up. And look down. Sit up and drink some water. Thank you for the care package. Okay. We are now on hold on. Let's see. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, we are on chapter 15. Let's see. There we go. My back hurt like hell. I think I slept weird too, because I do have a pain in my back as well. Just a small one, nothing crazy, but enough to be like enough to feel pain, you know? There we go. It's my fault because I slept on the couch one night. You slept on the couch? Be good as well. Have made it up in the morning. Have a good night, Dry Dog. Rest well. Do we have ads coming up? In 10 minutes. Okay. Looks like 10 more minutes. Okay. Chapter 15. Such was the history of my beloved cottages. It impressed me deeply, I learned from the views of my social life which I developed, to admire their virtues and to depreciate the vices of mankind. As yet, I looked upon crime as a distant evil. Benevolence and generosity were ever present before me, inciting with me a desire to become an actor in the busy scene where so many admirable qualities were called forth and displayed. But in giving an account of the progress of my intellect, I must not omit a circumstance which occurred in the beginning of the month of August of the same year. One night, during my accustomed visit to the neighbouring wood where I collected my own food and brought home firing for my protectors, I found on the ground a leathern portmanteau containing several articles of dress and some books. I eagerly seized the prize and returned with it to my hovel. Fortunately, the books were written in a language the elements of which I had acquired at the cottage. They consisted of Paradise Lost, a volume of Plutarch's Lives, and the Sorrows of Werther. The possession of these treasures gave me extreme delight. I now continually studied and exercised my mind through these histories, whilst my friends were employed with their ordinary occupations. I can hardly describe to you the effects of these books. They produced in me an infinity of new things and feelings that sometimes raised me to ecstasy, but more frequently sunk me into the lowest dejection in the Sorrows of Werther. And besides the interest of its simple and affecting story, so many opinions are canvassed and so many lights thrown upon what had hitherto been to me obscure objects that I found in it a never-ending source of speculation and astonishment. The gentle and domestic manners is described, combined with lofty sentiments and feelings, which had for their object something out of self accorded well with my experience among my protectors, and with the wants which were ever alive in my own bosom. But I thought Werther himself a more divine being than I had ever beheld or imagined. His character contained no pretensions, but it sank deep. The disquisitions upon his death and suicide were calculated to fill me with wonder. I did not pretend to enter into the merits of the case, yet I inclined towards the opinion of the hero whose extinction I wept without precisely understanding it. As I read, however, I applied too much personally of my own feelings and condition. I found myself similarly, yet at the same time strangely unlike to the beings concerning whom I read and to whose conversation I was a listener. I sympathized with and partly understood them, but I was unformed in mind. It was dependent on none and related to none. The path of my departure was free, and there was none to lament my annihilation. My person was hideous, and my stature gigantic. What did this mean? Who was I? What was I? Whence did I come? What was my destination? These questions continually occurred, but I was unable to solve them. The volume of Plutarch's Lives, which I possess, contained the histories of the first founders in the ancient republics. This book had a far different effect upon me from the Sorrows of Werther. I learned from Werther's imaginations despondency and gloom, but Plutarch taught me higher thoughts. He elevated me above the wretched sphere of my own reflections, to admire and love the heroes of past ages. Many things I read surpassed my understanding and experience. I had a very confused knowledge of kingdoms, wide extents of country, mighty rivers, and boundless seas, but I was perfectly unacquainted with towns and large assemblages of men. The cottage of my protectors had been the only school in which I had studied human nature. But this book developed new and mightier scenes of action. I read of men concerned in public affairs, governing or massacring their species. I felt the greatest ardour of virtue rise within me, and abhorrence for vice, as far as I understood the signification of those terms, relative as they were, as I applied them to pleasure and pain alone. Induced by these feelings, I was of course led to admire peaceable lawgivers, Numa, Solon, Lycurgus, and preferences to Romulus and Theseus. The patriarchal lives of my protectors caused these impressions to take a firm hold on my mind. Perhaps if my first introduction to humanity had been made by a young soldier, burning for glory and slaughter, I should have been imbued with different sensations. Hi, Poggers, welcome in. But Paradise Lost excited different and far deeper emotions. I read it as I had read the other volumes which had fallen into my hands, as a true history. It moved every feeling of wonder and awe that the picture of an omnipotent God warring with his creatures was capable of exciting. I often referred the several situations, and their similarities struck me to my own. Like Adam, I was apparently united by no link to any other being in existence, but his state was far different from mine in every other aspect. He had come forth from the hands of God, a perfect creature, happy and prosperous, and guarded by the essential care of his Creator. He was allowed to converse with and acquire knowledge from beings of a superior nature. But I was wretched, helpless, and alone. Many times I considered Satan was the fitter emblem of my condition, for often, like him, when I viewed the bliss of my protectors, the bitter gall of envy rose within me. Twitch clip that. Are ads starting? Okay, 2 more minutes. We'll finish this last sentence, or this last paragraph, and then we'll take a quick 3-minute break, so I can stand up and get some water. But Poggers, if you want to relax, please get some sleep. You're obviously more than welcome to. Another circumstance strengthened and confined these feelings. Soon after my arrival at the hovel, I discovered some papers in the pocket of the dress which I had taken from your laboratory. At first, I had neglected them, but now that I was able to decipher the characters in which they were written, I began to study them with diligence. It was your journal of the four months that preceded my creation. You minutely described in these papers every step you took and the progress of your work. This history was mingled with accounts of domestic occurrences. You doubtless recollect these papers. Here they are. Everything is related in them which bears reference to my accursed origin. The whole detail of that series of disgusting circumstances which produced it is set in view. The minutest description of my odious and loathsome person is given, in language which painted your own horrors and rendered mine indelible. I sickened as I read. Hateful day when I received life, I exclaimed in agony. Accursed Creator, why did you form a monster so hideous that even you turned from me in disgust? God in pity made man beautiful and alluring, after his own image, but my form is a filthy type of yours, more horrid even from the very resemblance. Satan had his companions, fellow devils, to admire and encourage him, but I am solitary and abhorred. Twitch clip that. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and we'll be right back. Okay. And we are back. Oh, sorry, I had to take an extra little minute. Only because I stepped out of my room. Those of you who do not like speed days, don't listen for like a minute. Okay? Okay, so I stepped out of my room to go get some ice for my drink. And when I opened the door, I saw something like weird in the middle of the hall, like hanging in the middle of the hall. And I was like, what is that? Like, is that just like some weird piece of like light or something? Right? So I turned on the light and there was just the spider just hanging, and it was like going down. Right? So I got my chanclas that I was wearing and a butt. And I was like, okay, well, so that happened. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you, hopefully no one, hopefully people are still here after that. Okay, good now. There we go, just in case. I see. Brave. Thank you. Well, okay. I wouldn't say brave. Only because my older brother is, he has arachnophobia, right? So I'm kind of used to always taking care of little critters when they come in the house. Some of them I will put in a cup and put them outside. But other ones, if I don't know what they are, I just get rid of them. I'm like, I can't tell what you are, and I'm not taking the chance. Like daddy long legs, I just put them outside, right? But anything that looks remotely black, I'm sorry, you're a goner. You're a goner, because we live where there's widows, so. But welcome in, Nerdy. How are you? Welcome back. Thank you, Ruffle. Hi, Darkest. Wonder when she wrote it so long ago. 1815 something? 1816, I think it was, when she wrote this. When Mary Shelley wrote this book. Hi, Timeless. How are you? Welcome in. How's your night? Gotta protect him. Eradication. Exactly. Novel's story lifted Daddy Longlegs. It's about the actual arachnid. So there is an old movie. It probably was based off of a book, but there's an old movie with Fred Astaire and I can't remember the name of the character, the female character. With Fred Astaire and Leslie Caron. It's Fred Astaire, Leslie Caron, Terry Moore, Thelma Ritter, Fred Clark, and Charlotte Austen. In this musical, American millionaire Jarvis Pendleton becomes taken with an orphan named Julie, Leslie Caron, while vacationing in France. Determined to improve the quality of Julie's life, he secretly sends money so she can receive a good education. After receiving a flurry of letters thanking her mysterious caretaker, Jarvis decides to visit his pet project. While he arrives and sees that Julie has grown up to be a beautiful young woman, he quickly falls for her. 1955 movie. Yes, 1955, Daddy Longlegs. It's... By today's standards, I will say it is definitely a film of its time. It's a play of its time, because by today's standards, an older millionaire sends money to a young orphan teenager, meets her when she's an adult, and then falls in love with her. If that is not I'm not going to say the word. You guys can think the word in your head, hopefully. If that is not I don't know what is. It's almost 8:30 a.m. and I haven't slept. Timeless? What? You need to get some rest, my friend. If you don't have... I mean, if you need to, you know, have changed so much since then. Oh no, definitely. Right, definitely. Societal standards have definitely changed since then. All About is Doctor Who? Sounds like it's still happening. Doing good. Should be sleepy because I got like 3 interviews today. Like for a new job? Are you looking for a new job? Well, good luck. If hopefully one of those 3. You know what? No, I take it back. I hope all 3 are so like excited after the interview. They're just like, we need to hire you right now. And then you get your pick. You get to pick which one you want. You'd be like, yes, beg for me. I hope that happens. I hope that happens for you, boy. Nerdy boy. Hi, Isango. Welcome in. It has been a long time. Grinding the past few months. Good. I'm glad. What have you been working on? You been doing good, though? Been working on some good stuff? On schoolwork, homework, or classwork, I should say, technically? Oh, I think it was Doctor Who. Actions of the story of that period would not fly today's time. Oh no, for sure, 100%. One is stupid far and the other is even farther. Oh, that sucks. I vaguely remember an 80s style anime of Daddy Long Legs. I think they did an like a movie, like a cartoon of Daddy Long Legs. But I only remember the old 1955 one. Only one is close. I appreciate it. I'm working as a chef. You're a chef now? When are you making me food? I'm hungry. I'm really hungry right now. Can you send me some egg rolls? Not send me. Yeah, make them and then send them to me. That's what I should say. I hope that happens. I hope so too, nerdy boy. Be there in a minute. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for the head pet. I'm gonna bite you. I'm gonna bite you so hard about it. Alright. Let's go ahead and let's settle in. We're about halfway through chapter 15. So I'm gonna settle back in and we're gonna keep reading. Sunko, thank you so much for the resub. Enjoy this emails and as always, welcome to Favorite Cafe. By the way, okay. What's worse is the car's down. My scooter is down too. I'm going to try to get a refurbished mountain bike this Monday. I hope you can. I hope you can get the mountain bike, yeah. I need to... You know what? I need to do nothing. We're gonna go ahead and get back into the book. Alright. Settle in, settle in, settle in, settle in. Okay. I'm just going to reread that last paragraph and then we'll start from there. Okay. Another circumstance strengthened and confirmed these feelings. Soon after my arrival in the hovel, I discovered some papers in the pocket of the dress, which I had taken from the laboratory. At first I had neglected them, but now that I was able to decipher the characters in which they were written, I began to study them with diligence. It was your journal of the 4 months that preceded my creation. You minutely described in these papers every step you took and progress of your work. This history was mingled with accounts of domestic occurrences. You doubtless recollect these papers. Here they are. Everything is related in them, which bears reference to my accursed origin. The whole detail of that series of disgusting circumstances which produced it is set in view. The minutest description of my odious, loathsome person is given, in language which painted your own horrors and rendered mine indelible. I sickened as I read. Hateful day when I received a life, I exclaimed in agony. Accursed Creator, why did you form a monster so hideous that even you turned from me in disgust? God in pity made man beautiful and alluring after his own image, but my form is a filthy type of yours, more horrid even from the very resemblance. Satan had his companions, fellow devils, to admire and encourage him, but I am solitary and abhorred. These were the reflections of my hours of despondency and solitude. But when I contemplated the virtues of the cottagers, their amiable and benevolent dispositions, I persuaded myself that when they should become acquainted with my admiration of their virtues, they would compassionate me. And overlook my personal deformity. Could they turn from their door to one, however monstrous, who solicited their compassions and friendship? I resolved at least not to despair, but in every way to fit myself for an interview with them, which would decide my fate. I postponed this attempt for some months longer, for the importance attached to its success impaired me with the dread lest I should fail. Besides, I found that my understanding improved so much with every day's experience that I was unwilling to commence this undertaking until a few more months should have added to my sagacity. Several changes in the meantime took place in the cottage. The presence of Sophie diffused happiness among its inhabitants, and I also found that a great degree of plenty reigned there. Felix and Agatha spent more time in amusement and conversation, and were assisted in their labours by servants. They did not appear rich, but they were content and happy. Their feelings were serene and peaceful, while mine became every day more tumultuous. Increase of knowledge only discovered to me more clearly what a wretched outcast I was. I cherished hope, it is true, but it vanished when I beheld my person reflected in water, or my shadow in the moonshine, even as that frail image and that inconstant shade. I endeavoured to crush these fears and to fortify myself for the trial which in a few months I resolved to undergo. And sometimes I allowed my thoughts, unchecked by reason, to ramble in the fields of paradise, and dared to fancy amiable and lovely creatures sympathizing with my feelings and cheering my gloom. Their angelic countenances breathed smiles of consolation. But it was all a dream. No Eve soothed my sorrows, nor shared my thoughts. I was alone. I remembered Adam's supplication to his Creator. But where was mine? He had abandoned me, and the bitterness of my heart cursed him. Autumn passed thus. I saw with surprise and grief the leaves decay and fall, and nature again assumed the barren and bleak appearance it had worn when I first beheld the woods and the lovely moon. Yet I did not heed the bleakness of the weather. I was better fitted by my conformation for the endurance of cold than heat, but my chief delights were the sight of the flowers, the birds, and all the gay apparel of summer. Hi, Grotworks! Grot! Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, cutie. Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukia. I'm a siren with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe. How are you? How was stream? Tonight we are reading Frankenstein. We are on chapter 15. How was Warhammer, cutie? Read and run. 3:30. Oh, baby. Yeah, go get some sleep. Have a good rest, cutie. Good night, good night. Make sure you guys go give a follow over to Grot. They are so heckin' cute. They play all kinds of different games. Big Warhammer. I believe you also played... What was that game you played not too long ago? I feel like I was there not too long ago, and I remember seeing... Oh, I did not mean to pin that. I didn't mean to pin that. Oops, 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 oops. Oops, oops. What? No! Oh shit, oh shit, my bad, my bad, my bad. Oh no. Oh no, that was my bad, I'm so sorry, God. No, no, you're good, you're fine. Yeah. See, this is why I'm not a mod. Oh, I am so sorry. I meant to just click on your name, and I was gonna go to your channel and see if I can remember the game by looking at your channel. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. What did you say? What did you say? You said we were playing some tabletop simulator during Warhammer 40k. Nice. I love tabletop sim games. Vale, hi Vale, welcome in. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh no. Bioshock, that's what it was. Bioshock, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to go to your channel to see what game you were playing. And I was like, it wasn't that long ago. I feel like it wasn't that long ago anyways. Tushy, good night. Good night, Vic. Have a good sleep. Unless you meant somebody else. Unless you meant somebody else that you're referring to as the person who's worshipping me. Have a good night, Vic. Rest well. And Grot, thank you again so much for the raid. And take care of yourself. Enjoy your evening. Let me... There I am. Okay. Okay, much better. Oh, I'm sorry. I already said I'm sorry. Jesus. I already said I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god. As an apology, should I switch my outfit? As an apology, should I switch my outfit? I kind of feel like that needs to happen. I feel like I did something and I need to recompense myself for it. Do you still play WoW? I do. I was playing yesterday. I played some WoW yesterday. Hi, Nine. Welcome in. Better the more you say sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. And you know what? I think I will. I really love the diction of Mary Shelley's book. Her writing is so nice. I like her writing too. It's very nice. But I'm gonna, because you know what? I'm gonna switch my outfit. One, because I want to, and two, because I feel bad for doing that. So I think you guys deserve a little something extra. So hold on. I'm gonna change, so don't move, okay? Hold on. Okay. There we go. I said I was gonna change. Also, I need to add a kiss on for Isango. There we go. Thank you. We're gonna do this purple. I'll do this purple. And we'll put it right here. Oh, right. If I do, it likes to stick on my shadow. There we go. Much better. My collarbone. Much better, much better. Okay. My eyes aren't moving. He had you in jail for a week. Wait, what? I'll be on the lookout then. Maybe I'm not be busy in coming 3 months. Yeah, well, Isanko, if you're able to come back next week, because I'm not going to be streaming Friday, Saturday. Next week, I'll be doing my big birthday celebration. We'll be doing a whole week of stuff. So if you want to come in next week, I'll be doing my birthday stuff next week. Be heading in jail for a week. Eyes. Eyes aren't moving. Good. It's me, the one eye. You have book reading, bottom energy. Having eye patch wearing, coffee drinking, cookie eating, sweet voice, having tuber. Good night. I don't know who you're talking about, Sag. That's crazy. It doesn't sound like anybody I know. Have a good sleep, Thick. Are you calling Thick a bottom? You're so right. You're so right, he is. Watch the rewards, Mukia. Is there any... Well, hold on. Let me check. I haven't looked at it. Let me try one more refresh and see maybe if I can get the queue. No, I can see the queue now. I can see it now. We're good. Thank you. Let me do this. Fubuki, thank you for being first. The cake. Valverde, thank you for being second. And Shushu, thank you for being third. We did the care package and the forehead kiss earlier. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. I forgot that timed out Pinoy. He did DM me that he was timed out still. That's hilarious. I offered him to time out. Birthday? Yeah, next week. Well, my birthday is actually on Wednesday next week. But I'll be doing like a whole week of stuff, you know? Oh no. Happy birthday, thank you. Vale Ali, thank you for the follow, by the way. Okay. Let's settle in. And let's go ahead and let's pick, thank you for the head pat. Let's pick up where we left off for chapter 15. I'm just going to start all over. Autumn passed thus. I saw with surprise and grief the leaves decay and fall. The nature again assumed the barren and bleak appearance it had worn when I first beheld the woods and the lovely moon. Yet I did not heed the bleakness of the weather. I was better fitted by my confrontation of the endurance of the cold than heat, but my chief delights were the sight of the flowers, the birds, and all the gay apparel of summer. When those deserted me, I turned with more attention towards the cottagers. Their happiness was not decreased by the absence of summer. They loved and sympathized with one another, and the joys depending on each other were not interrupted by the casualties that took place around them. The more I saw of them, the greater became my desire to claim their protection and kindness. My heart yearned to be known and loved by these amiable creatures. To see their sweet looks directed towards me with affection was the utmost limit of my ambition. I dared not think that they would turn them from me with disdain and horror. The poor that stopped at their door were never driven away. I asked, it is true, for greater treasures and the little food or rest. I required kindness and sympathy, but I did not believe myself utterly unworthy of it. The winter advanced, and an entire revolution of the seasons had taken place since I awoke into life. My attention at this time was solely directed towards my plan of introducing myself into the cottage of my protectors. A revolt of fresh air revived me, and with renewed determination I approached the door of the cottage. I knocked. "Who's there?" said the old man. "Come in." I entered. "Pardon the intrusion," said I. "I am a traveller in want of little rest, of use in undeceiving them. I am blind and cannot judge of your countenance, but there is something in your words which persuades me that you are sincere. I am poor and in exile, but it will afford me true pleasures to be in any way serviceable to a human creature." "Excellent man. I thank you and accept your generous offer. You raised me from the dust of this kindness, and thus I trust that, by your aid, I shall not be driven from the society and sympathy of your fellow creatures. Heaven forbid, even if you were really a criminal, for that can only drive you to desperation and not instigate you to virtue. I also am unfortunate, but I have my family, have been condemned, although innocent. Judge, therefore, if I do not feel for your misfortunes. How can I thank you, my best and only benefactor? From your lips first I have heard the voice of kindness directed towards me. I shall be forever grateful, and your presence, humanity, assures me of success with those friends who I am on the point of meeting. May I know the names and residence of those friends?" I paused. This, I thought, was the moment of decision, which was to rob me of or bestow happiness on me forever. I struggled vainly for firmness sufficient to answer him, but the effort destroyed all my remaining strength. I sank on the chair and sobbed aloud. At that moment I heard the steps of my younger protectors. I had not a moment to lose, but seized the hand of the old man. I cried, "Now is the time. Save and protect me. You and your family are the friends whom I seek. Do not you desert me in the hour of trial." "Great God!" exclaimed the old man. "Who are you?" At that instant the cottage door was opened, and Felix, Safie, and Agatha entered. Who can describe their horror and consternation on beholding me? Agatha fainted, and Safie, unable to attend to her friend, rushed out of the cottage. Felix darted forward with supernatural force, tore me from his father, to whose knees I clung. In a transport of fury he dashed me to the ground and struck me violently with a stick. I could have torn him limb from limb as the lion rendered its antelope, but my heart sank within me as with bitter sickness, and I refrained. I saw him on the point of repeating his blow when, overcome by pain and anguish, I quitted the cottage, and in the general tumult escaped unperceived to my hovel. Exostar, welcome in. How are you, lovely? How ancient the streamer was. Oh. Hi, Ria. Welcome in. How are you? You're right. I'm only 220, Michael. Well, okay, I will be 220 next week. I will be... I'm technically 219 right now, so I'll be 220 next Wednesday? Wednesday's the 6th? Wednesday's the 6th? Next Thursday. Next Thursday, I'll be 220. English? You're saying I mean, sweetheart? Yes. Yes. I mean, what's your question? Is exactly. So yeah. Hi, Aria. Older brother is older. Get under my comfy blankie. Yeah, get cozy. Get cozy, nerdy. Similar to Frankenstein's creation. Especially with the line that he says earlier. Right here. He says, hateful day when I received life. A cursed creative, why did you form a monster so hideous that even you turned from me in disgust? God in pity made man beautiful and alluring after his own image, but my form is a filthy type of yours, more horrid even from the very resemblance. Satan had his companions, fellow devils, to admire and encourage him, but I am solitary and abhorred. That's the line that kind of makes me like think people see themselves as Adam, as Frankenstein's Adam, right? Even younger. Hi, Karnak! How are you, kitty cat? Welcome in. The diction of her word choices when she wrote were just so wonderful. I agree. I like the way that Mary Shelley writes. I really do. Okay, we are now on chapter 16. Hello. Hi. How are you? Hopefully you're doing good. Let me... Okay. Hi, Envo. How are you? Gothic. Yes. Personally finished the book already. It's been a while since I've read this, and we're reading it in school, but it's been a while. Well, I say school, but technically my lessons, right? I'm trying to find a string to fall asleep in. Asleep here? Of course, Rage. Of course. You are definitely allowed to lay down and have a good rest. Rage, Ghost Queen. There we go. So you know I'm talking to you specifically. Good night, Panyoy. Good night, Cookie Bear. Have a good sleep. Good night. Rage Ghost Queen, thank you for the follow. Have a good sleep as well. Good night. Wait, hold on, let me redo that. Panoy. Pookie Bear. You have a good night, my love. Rest well. Okay? Good night, good night, good night. That's my Pookie Bear. That was personal. Oh yeah, of course. It's Pinoy. Didn't expect that, sorry. It's too much for him. Brain is shutting down. I mean, I thought it was already shutting down, so. It's been a good like 3 weeks since I've teased him, okay? I was being very kind. I was being very kind with not teasing him for 3 weeks. Alright. slapped him with the old factory reset. It has to happen every so often, you know. He needs to remember that he's still my Pookie Bear. What was it? What was the whole thing Fubuki and I came up with? It was Pookie Bear Schnookums Cupcake. Pookie Bear Schnookums Cupcake. Tease the brain out of him, of course. Oh yeah, AJ, if you ever want me to say something specific to Pinoy, let me know. I love doing that. I do it with Lyran all the time. That's what we came up with, right, Fubuki? It was Pookie Bear Schnookums Cupcake. Don't do that, please. Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna 100% do it. Pookie Bear Schnookums Cupcake? Yes. Ghost. Do it. Do it. I couldn't hear for a second. Oh, I was saying, AJ, next time you're in call with him, if I'm live and you want me to say something specific, to Pinoy, let me know, and I will do it. I will do it. Do it. 100%. I do that with my friend Lyran all the time. Really? Yeah. 100%. It's fun. Listen, if your friends can't tease you, how can I help them? Right? What's the lore with the Pookie Bear Schnookums Cupcake? So it's Pookie Pinoy. I called Pinoy Pookie once, and then just kind of stuck. And then I just kept adding more names to his name, to his nickname. That's pretty much it. This gonna be fun. I have something on mind, but I'll brainstorm. Yes, 9, let me know. You too. Just tell me. Hi, Endless. How are you? Welcome in. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? We have time for one more chapter before we end for the night. So let's go ahead and let's do chapter 16. It's a bit of a long one, so I might not be looking at chat as often because I just checked to see how long it was compared to the others. This one is pretty long compared to the other chapters, so I do want to do at least 3 chapters tonight, so at the end of chapter 16, we will call it, regardless of what time it is, right? You want to put something to get him seriously flustered? Good. Endless, and I froze. Different user I use. Oh, I see. Yeah, endless. We have endless, endless void, I should say. He hates you? But I love you so much, Pinoy, why do you hate Fubuki? Fufuki, why would you hate Fufuki? He's our fucking cookie. Sorry, I had to. Panic attack. Feel better now? Okay, good, endless, good. Good. Fufuki. Yeah, like Fufuki? Fufuki. Like Fukuki, like cookie. Not really used to that name. Fukuki? Fufuki? Fufu. It's Fufu. Cookie. Fufuki. Like cookie. Fufuki. Even I'm like struggling with it, I know. What did I return to? Hi, Michael! Getting more names. You are. Fufuki. Yeah. Fufuki. There's Fufuki, Fukuki, Fubuki. There we go. Fufuki, Fubuki. Put an emphasis on the uki. Need to get the notepad for this. Okay, one more time. I love tongue twisters. My favorite tongue twister to date is still the six sheep is sick. The tongue is twisted. Calling me Ratbuki Fuburi. Okay, Fuburi's really cute. Wait. Did she cast a spell? Yes. The sixth sheep is sick. Six sheep is sick. Six sheep is sick. That one's really hard because it's S's. There's Moses opposes his toes are roses. What else? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? One more. How many drops could a dewdrop drop if a dewdrop did drop dew? Fuburi the Fufuki. It's true. I like that one. Okay. Alright, I need to stop. Chapter 16, for realsies now. Alright. Cursed Creator. Why did I live? Why, in that instant, did I not extinguish the spark of existence which you had so wantonly bestowed? I know not despair had not yet. I know not. Despair had not taken possession of me. My feelings were those of rage and revenge. I could with pleasure have destroyed the cottage and its inhabitants, and have glutted myself with their shrieks of misery. When night came, I quitted my retreat and wandered into the woods, and now, no longer restrained by the fear of discovery, I gave vent to my anguish and fearful howlings. I was like a wild beast that had broken the toils, destroying the objects that obstructed me and ranging through the woods with a stag-like swiftness. Ah, what a miserable night I passed. The cold stars shone in mockery, and the bare trees waved their branches above me. Now and then the sweet voice of a bird burst forth amidst the universal stillness. All save I. Excuse me. All save I were at rest or in enjoyment. I, like the arch-fiend, bore a hell within me, and finding myself unsympathized with, wished to tear up the trees, spread havoc and destruction around me, and then have it sat down and enjoy the ruin. But this was a luxury of sensation that could not endure. I became fatigued with the excess of bodily exertion, and sank on a damp grass in the sick impotence of despair. There was none among the myriad of men that existed who would pity or assist me, and should I feel kindness towards my enemies? No. From that moment I declared everlasting war against the species, and more than all, against him who formed me and sent me forth to this unsupportable misery. The sun rose. I heard the voices of men and knew that it was impossible to return to my retreat during the day. Accordingly, I hid myself in some thick underwood, determined to devote the ensuing hours to reflection on my situation. The pleasant sunshine and the pure air of day restored me to some degree of tranquillity, and when I considered what had passed at the cottage, I could not help believing that I had been too hasty in my conclusions. I had certainly acted imprudently. It was apparent that my conservation had interested the father in my behalf, and that I was a fool in having exposed my person to the horror of his children. I ought to have familiarized the old De Lacy to me, and by degrees to have discovered myself to the rest of his family, when they should have been prepared for my approach, but I did not believe my errors to be irreversible. to be irretrievable, and after much consideration I resolved to return to the cottage, seek the old man, and by my representations win him to my party. These thoughts calmed me, and in the afternoon I sank into a profound sleep. But the fever of my blood did not allow me to be visited by peaceful dreams. The horrible scene of the preceding day was forever etched before my eyes. The females were flying at the enraged Felix, tearing me from his father's feet. I awoke exhausted, and finding that it was already night, I crept forth from my hiding place and went in search of food. When my hunger was appeased, I directed my steps towards the well-known path that conducted to the cottage. Although was at peace, I crept to my hovel and remained in silent expectation of the accustomed hour when the family arose. The hour passed, the sun mounted high in the heavens, but the cottagers did not appear. I trembled violently, apprehending some dreadful misfortune. The inside of the cottage was dark. I heard no motion. I cannot describe the agony of this surprise. Presently 2 countrymen passed by, but pausing near the cottage, they entered into conversation, using violent gesticulations, but I did not understand what they said. They spoke the language of the country, which differed from that of my protectors. Soon after, however, Felix approached with another man. I was surprised, as I knew that he had not quitted the cottage that morning, and waited anxiously to discover from his discourse the meaning of these unusual appearances. "Do you consider," said his companion to him, "that you will be obliged to pay 3 months' rent, and to lose the produce of your garden? I do not wish to take any further advantage, and I beg, therefore, that you will take some days to consider of your determination." "It is utterly useless," replied Felix. "We can never again inhabit your cottage. The life of my father is in the greatest danger owing to the dreadful circumstances that I have related." Oh, I just saw ants are running. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take a quick BRB, and when we come back, continue reading. So, I'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully you all stood up and got a drink. Maybe walked around a little bit. But if not, if you stayed in bed, take the time to take a quick, deep breath. And recenter yourselves. Okay. Thank you for Bookie, by the way. Hi, welcome back, welcome back. A quart of ice cold water. Ooh, that sounds so good. I didn't need any more water, so I just walked around a little bit, stretched my legs. Banana. Okay. Really quick, let's stretch out our necks. Okay. Hi, Epic. How are you, cutie? How's your night? It is the 29th for me. It is 1:21 in the morning on the 29th. Yeah, so the time, if you look for Bookie, it's on the top right. I know you can't see the day, but that is my time. 11 a.m. for me. You are UK then? Hold on. You are in that area then. 2:22 for me. 9. 4:21 for you, Nix. Why is this so good with time zones? Well, okay, so I know right now it's like 8 or 9 a.m. if you are like in London, which is BST, GMT, and then that means it's 7 or 8 if you're in Australia. Something like that, right? Hi, Fred. How are you? Why is this good time zones? Because I have a lot of friends who live in Australia, and then I have a lot of friends who live in like London or GMT time zones, right? Not London specifically, but like GMT time zones, or BST, I should say. A cozy 6 p.m. here. It's 6 p.m. for you, Pink. Pinkate. Pinkate. Whereas it's 6:22 p.m. for Australia. So you're Eastern Australia then, right? Because Western is like... No, wait. Sorry. 8. If it's... Okay. If it's 9 right now in London, then that means in New Zealand it's 9 a.m. for London, so then it's 8 p.m. for New Zealand, which makes you Central Australia? I'm probably super wrong. I'm probably super wrong. Seeing the messages before they even pop up on my side. It's 8 and... dang it. Okay. Doing pretty good. How are you? I'm good. We're reading some Frankenstein tonight. Phone home screen is line to keep on with time zones. Oh, you know what? I figured it's crazy. Why do you think I do the timestamp thing in Discord? See, Nar, she's mapped us all that. I have. I see everything. I see where you are. I know your time zone. And I know you didn't clean your ears today. Or brush your teeth. That's crazy and gross. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Australian Eastern. Oh, right. Okay. All that's left is for her to narrow it down. Sounds like she's doing right now. I have a bad habit of doing that. I actually, do you guys want to hear a crazy story? Didn't clean my ears today. Oh, you didn't? You didn't, brother? You didn't clean out? You know what? You guys, do me a favor. Go follow Brother Sis. Go follow Brother Sis. Go give him a follow. Go say hi. But really quick, I have a friend who... My ears aren't clean. Yeah, well, maybe you'll clean them now that I'm sending people over to you. So I did this thing. I have a friend who told me that he lived in a very particular place, right? He didn't tell me where he lived, but he said for his vacation, right? He went to these 3 to 4 different places. I think he gave me like 4 different places. Because I've always wanted to go to these places. They're only a couple of hours away from my house where he lives. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of these places, right? So I took the places that he told me, and I was like, so how many hours away are these, are these places away from you? And he was like, oh, they're about like an hour away. And I was like, oh, okay. Like each of them are about an hour away? And he said, yeah. I said, all right. So I put those places on a Google map, and then I highlighted the area in the middle between those 3, and I took a screenshot and I sent it to him. And I was just like, so you live somewhere around here where these villages are, right? Where these towns, these cities, whatever, right? And he was just like, why would you do this to me? And I was like, I can't help it. You literally gave me 3 places that are not far from where you live, and I just triangulated. It was so easy. What do you mean? That's why you have to be careful. Because crazy people like me will do shit like that to fuck with you. I mean, like literally 2 weeks later, he gave me his address, but still, it was really funny. I just picture you doing the red string map thing that you see in movies. I mean, it wasn't string, but it was a highlighter, so you're not wrong. My Eye of Sauron comment earlier was more accurate than my comments. I'm trembling in my boots. Brother, I already know a general area of where you live. I just won't say it. Obviously. I wonder if Moon knows a rough idea where I am. Kinda. I have a general idea of the, like, at least your time zone. But again, I'm not gonna say it, obviously. Where your boots are? I do. Brother keeps his boots in the hallway closet by the front door. I'm moving tomorrow. Well, then I'll know where you are even more. Because isn't Mars smaller than Earth? Now I need to see. Is Mars smaller than Earth? Yes. Mars is considerably smaller than Earth. Mars is 4,000 miles and Earth is almost 8,000 miles. Wide. Which is 6,000 kilometers and 12,000 kilometers. The surface area of Mars is 28% of Earth's total surface area. Yeah, it's very small compared to. So I'll find you even faster, brother. Moving to... I have no idea what Tau Ceti is. Let's see, Tau Ceti. Potential habitable exoplanets candidates in the stellar system. Tau. Okay, are you going to Tau Ceti E or Tau Ceti F? Because both are very large. To the super special Discord, he'll tell me eventually. He'll be like, "It's here. I'm over at this place. I'm doing this thing." Just like, "Oh, you mean the one that so and so works at?" And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that person," and then I'll know exactly where he is. Okay. Hi, Ensley. Welcome in. Let's go ahead. Let's. Big Frankie ain't making an affront to the laws of nature. Hi, Brian. Guys, it is the world famous, hottest bard on this side of the oceans, Bronsois. World famous bard, like I said. They play games. They play a lot of Guilty Gear. They're gonna be playing games with me next week. What else? They sing, they juggle, they write poetry. Amazing. We love them. Brother Sis is cozy. He's funny. But do not bring your sussy McSussy faces into his channel. That is my brother. Weird. Don't do that. Don't do that to brother. No. Keep it funny, but don't keep it sussy, okay? What do you think? I'm your world. You are my world, Bron. And I'm so excited for next year for Offkai. I was literally looking at hotels. Am I sus? Yes. Yes. All sources point to yes. What do you mean? That took the appropriate amount of time. 2029, that will be the year I hope to visit States again. I hope you can. Yeah. We should, if you come to the States, you should go to Offkai with me and meet me there. Meet me at Offkai. Sorry, I felt something on my thumb when I was taking a look at it. I'm hurt. Why? What happened? What'd you do? Building, saving, and waiting, and hoping. You got this. That begs the question. Thank you for the care package. Everybody tilt your head to the left. Everybody tilt your head to the right. Because he called thick a bottom. Everybody look up. And look down. Sit up and drink some mama. I agree, Vera. I have to see how much of the gang we can bring to Offkai with us. Well, I'm gonna probably get a hotel all by myself. Because as much as I would like, right, as much as I would like to do something and have a place with people, I find I can't have visitors if I'm sharing with somebody. Unless I'm sharing with them in that aspect. You know what I mean? So, I'll probably be traveling and staying by myself. That in the sense that the more the merrier to me. Okay, let's live in the situation. Oh. My bad. That's not what you meant. Okay, I see. Okay. That makes sense too. But yeah, we'll have to see who all is around. But I'll be at Offkite next year. I'm putting money aside to do Offkite next year. I'm probably gonna fly in and then fly back. That's okay. It is a VTuber convention. They just came back from it. It literally was this past weekend for this year, but I'm going to do the one next year in April. It's going to be springtime. I'm excited for it. Interesting. Yeah, I'm hearing all the stories. I'm just like, I need to go next year. I 100% need to go next year. Especially since it's in spring. Right? Much the first VTuber convention of its kind, made by fans for fans. Exactly. So there's gonna be like meet and greets, there's shops and stuff. I'm probably not gonna make any appearance in any capacity. I'll probably just like go and enjoy and hang out with friends. If I do, I actually been meaning to talk to you because I was gonna ask you about the VTuber choir thing. Because I do want to watch incognito. Yeah, I want to go and just enjoy the convention. I don't want to go and be like worry about like doing anything, you know. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's finish up this chapter because we only have 30 minutes left until the end of stream, and I did want to do this chapter before the end of the night. Good. No, you're good, nerd. I mean, it is like one of the biggest VTuber conventions, but relatively, if none of the people that you watch talk about it or go, then it's a little different, right? Okay, I'm getting sleepy. Let's finish this chapter. It is utterly useless, replied Felix. We can never again inhabit our cottage. The life of my father is in the greatest danger owing to that dreadful circumstance I have related. My wife and my sister will never recover from their horror. I entreat you not to reason with me any more. Take possession of your tenement and let me fly from this place. Felix trembled violently as he said this. He and his companion entered the cottage, in which they remained for a few minutes, and then departed. I never saw any of the family of Delancey more. I continued for the remainder of the day in my hovel in a state of utter and stupid despair. My protectors had departed and had broken the only link that held me to the world. For the first time the feelings of revenge and hatred filled my bosom, and I did not strive to control them, but allowed myself to be borne away by the stream. I bent my mind towards injury and death. When I thought of my friends, of the mild voice of the Delancey, the gentle eyes of Agatha, and the exquisite beauty of Arabian, these thoughts vanished, and a gush of tears somewhat soothed me. But again, when I reflected that they had spurned and deserted me, anger returned, a rage of anger, and unable to injure anything human. I turned my fury towards inanimate objects. As night advanced, I placed a variety of combustibles around my cottage, and after having destroyed every vestige of cultivation in the garden, I waited with forced impatience until the moon had sunk to commence my operations. As the night advanced, a fierce wind arose from the woods and quickly dispersed the clouds that had loitered in the heavens. The blast tore along like a mighty avalanche and produced a kind of insanity in my spirits that burst all bounds of reason and reflection. I lighted the dry branch of a tree and danced with fury around the devoted cottage. My eyes still fixed on the western horizon, the edge of which the moon nearly touched. A part of its orb was at length hid, and I waved my brand. It sank, and with a loud scream I fired the straw, the heath, the bushes which I had collected. The wind fanned the fire, and the cottage was quickly enveloped by the flames, which clung to it and licked it with their forked and destroying tongues. As soon as I was convinced that no assistance could save any part of the habitation, I quitted the scene and sought for refuge in the woods. And now, with the world before me, whither should I bend my steps? I resolved to fly far from the scene of my misfortunes, but to me, hated and despised, every country must be equally horrible. At length, the thought of you crossed my mind. I learned from your papers that you were my father, my creator, and to whom I could apply with more fitness than to him who had given me life. Among the lessons that Felix had bestowed upon Safi, geography had not been omitted. I had learned from these the relative situations of the dire countries of the earth. You had mentioned Geneva as the name of your native town, and towards this place I resolved to proceed. But how was I to direct myself? I knew that I must travel in a southwesterly direction to reach my destination, but the sun was my only guide. I did not know the names of the towns that I was to pass through, nor could I ask for information from a single human being. But I did not despair. From you only could I hope for succor, although towards you I felt no sentiment but that of hatred. Unfeeling, heartless creator, you had endowed me with perceptions and passions, and then cast me abroad an object of the scorn and horror of mankind. But on you only that I had claim for pity and redress, and from you I determined to seek that justice which I vainly attempted to gain from any other being that wore a human form. My travels were long, and the sufferings I endured intense. It was late in autumn when I quitted the district where I had so long resided. I travelled only at night, fearful of encountering the visage of a human being. Nature decayed around me, and the sun became heartless. Rain and snow poured around me. Mighty rivers were frozen. The surface of the earth was hard and chill and bare, and I found no shelter. Oh, earth! How often did I imprecate curses on the cause of my being. The mildness of my nature had fled, and all within me was turned to gall and bitterness. The nearer I approached your habitation, the more deeply did I feel the spirit of revenge enkindled my heart. Snow fell and the waters were hardened, but I rested not. A few incidences now and then directed me, and I possessed a map of the country, but I often wandered wide from my path. The agony of my feelings allowed me no respite. No incident occurred from which my rage and misery could not extract its food. But a circumstance that happened when I arrived on the confines of Switzerland, when the sun had recovered its warmth and the earth again began to look green, confirmed in an especial manner the bitterness and horror of my feelings. I generally rested during the day and travelled only when I was secured by night from the view of man. One morning, however, finding that my path lay through a deep wood, I ventured to continue my journey. After the sun had risen, the day, which was one of the first of spring, cheered me by the loveliness of its sunshine and the balminess of the air. I felt emotions of gentleness and pleasure that had long appeared dead revive within me. Half surprised by the novelty of these sensations, I allowed myself to be borne away by them, and forgetting my solitude and deformity, dared not be happy. Soft tears bedewed my cheeks, and I even raised my humid eyes with thankfulness towards the blessed sun, which bestowed such joy upon me. Siren, thank you for the follow. I continued to wind among the path of the woods, until I came to its boundary, which was skirted by a deep and rapid river, into which many of the trees bent their branches, now budding with the fresh spring. Here I paused, not exactly knowing what path to pursue, when I heard the sound of voices that induced me to conceal myself under the shade of a cypress. I was scarcely hid when a young girl came running towards the spot where I was concealed, laughing as if she had ran from someone in sport. She continued her course along the precipitous sides of the river, when suddenly her foot slipped, and she fell into the rapid stream. I rushed from my hiding place, and with extreme labour from the force of the current saved her and dragged her to shore. She was senseless, and I endeavoured by every means in my power to restore animation, when I was suddenly interrupted by the approach of a rustic, who was probably the person for whom she had playfully fled. On seeing me, he darted towards me, and tearing the girl from my arms, hastened towards the deeper parts of the wood. I followed speedily. I hardly knew why, but when the man saw me draw near, he aimed a gun which he carried at my body and fired. I sank to the ground, and my injurer, with increased swiftness, escaped into the woods. This was then the reward for my benevolence. I saved a human being from destruction, and as recompense I now writhed under the miserable pain of a wound which shattered the flesh and bone. The feelings of kindness and gentleness which I had entertained but a few moments before gave place to hellish rage and gnashing of teeth. Inflamed by pain, I vowed eternal hatred and vengeance to all mankind, but the agony of my wound overcame me. My pulses paused, and I fainted. For some weeks I led a miserable life in the woods, endeavouring to cure the wound which I had received. The ball had entered my shoulder, and I knew not whether it had remained there or passed through. At any rate, I had no means of extracting it. My sufferings were augmented also by the oppressive sense of the injustice and ingratitude of their infliction. My daily vows rose for vengeance, a deep and deadly revenge, such as was alone compensate for the outrages and anguish I had endured. After some weeks, my wound healed, and I continued my journey. The labours I endured were no longer to be alleviated by the bright sun or gentle breezes of spring. All joy was but a mockery which insulted my desolate state, and made me feel more painfully that I was not made for the enjoyment of pleasure. But my toils now drew near a close, and in 2 months from this time I reached the environs of Geneva. It was evening when I arrived, and I retired to a hiding place among the fields that surrounded it to meditate in what manner I should apply to you. I was oppressed by fatigue and hunger, and far too unhappy to enjoy the gentle breeze of evening, or the prospect of the sun setting behind the stupendous mountains of Jura. At this time, a slight sleep relieved me from the pain of reflection, which was disturbed by the approach of a beautiful child, who came running into the recesses I had chosen. With all the sportiveness of infancy, suddenly, as I gazed on him, an idea seized me that this little creature was unprejudiced and had lived too short a time to have embittered the horror of deformity. If, therefore, I could seize him and educate him as my companion and friend, I should not be so desolate in this peopled earth. Urged by this impulse, I seized on the boy as he passed and drew him towards me. As soon as he beheld my form, he placed his hands before his eyes and uttered a shrill scream. I drew his hand forcibly from his face and said, "Child, what is the meaning of this? I do not intend to harm you. Listen to me." He stared. He struggled violently. "Let me go," he cried. "Monster, ugly wretch. You wish to eat me and tear me to pieces. You are an ogre. Let me go, or I will tell my papa." "Boy, you will never see your father again, and must come with me." "Hideous monster, let me go. My papa is a syndic. He is Frankenstein. He will punish you. You dared not keep me." "Frankenstein. You belong then to my enemy, to him towards whom I have sworn eternal revenge. You shall be my first victim." The child still struggled and loaded me with epithets. How do you say that? Epithets, sorry. The child still struggled and loaded me with epithets which carried despair to my heart. I grasped his throat to silence him, and in a moment he lay dead at my feet. I gazed on my victim, and my heart swelled with exultation and hellish triumph. Clapping my hands, I exclaimed, "I too can create desolation. My enemy is not invulnerable. His death will carry despair to him, and 1,000 other miseries shall torment and destroy him." As I fixed my eyes on the child, I saw something glittering on his breast. I took it. It was a portrait of a most lovely woman. In spite of my malignity, it softened and attracted me. For a few moments I gazed with delight on her dark eyes, fringed with deep lashes, and her lovely lips. But presently my rage returned. I remembered that I was forever deprived of the delights that such beautiful creatures could bestow, and that she, whose resemblance I contemplated, would, and regard me, have changed that air of divine benignity to one expressive of disgust and affright. Can you wonder that such thoughts transported me with rage? I only wonder that at that moment, instead of venting my sensations and exclamations in agony, I did not rush towards mankind and perish in the attempt to destroy them. While I was overcome by these feelings, I felt the spot where I had committed the murder, and seeking a more secluded hiding place, I entered a barn which had appeared to me to be empty. A woman was sleeping on some straw. She was young, not indeed so beautiful as her whose portrait I held, but of an agreeable aspect, and blooming in the loveliness of youth and health. Here, I thought, is one of those whose joy and parting smiles are bestowed on all but me. And then I bent over her and whispered, "Awake, fairest, thy lover is near, he who would give his life but to obtain one look of affection from thine eyes. My beloved, awake." The sleeper stirred. A thrill of terror ran through me. Should she indeed awake and see me and curse me and denounce the murderer? Thus would she assuredly act if her darkened eyes opened, and she beheld me. The thought was madness. It stirred the fiend within me. Not I, but she shall suffer. The murderer I have committed, because I am forever robbed of all that she could give me. She shall atone. The crime had its source in her. Be hers the punishment. Thanks to the lessons of Felix and the sanguinarity of laws of man, I had learned how to work mischief. I bent over her and placed the portrait securely in one of the folds of her dress. She moved again, and I fled. For some days I haunted the spot where the scene had taken place, sometimes wishing to see you, sometimes resolved to quit the world and its miseries forever. At length I wandered towards these mountains, and have ranged throughout the immense recess, consumed by a burning passion which you alone can gratify. We may not part until you have promised to comply with my requisition. I am alone and miserable. Man will not associate with me, but one as deformed and horrible as myself would not deny herself to me. My companion must be of the same species and have the same defects. This being you must create. And that is the end of chapter 16. Hi, Sha. Yes. We are reading today, or were. Oh, right? Oh. See, that's the thing with Frankenstein's Adam, right? Is you hear his plight, right? He is... What's the word? He is... When you first see him, right, and his desire to make a connection with people, something that we struggle with, we ourselves struggle with, right? We want to make friends. We want to find a romantic partner. We don't want to be alone. We want to have companionship in some way, shape, or form. And in so many ways, it's easier for us because we don't have... We have we're able to communicate, right now. You guys don't know. Like, I don't know what you guys look like, right? So it's that air of mystery. But in a day and age where the only time that you can actually talk to anybody is by meeting them, by seeing them face to face. And every time he tried before, he was met with scorn, with hate, with fear. He saves a child and he gets shot. The people that he watched, that he was really hoping that in a way taught him how to speak, how to read, they run away. They beat him with a stick and they leave their house, all in order to just completely avoid him. And then he meets his... I don't like... Obviously, right? Because he starts off with such hopes, such dreams, desire for connection, for love, for acceptance. And now he's like, since I can't get that from man itself, it has to be created for me. You, Victor Frankenstein, have to create something much like myself, so that I can have a companion. He's still a monster, still with agony. The closest I am to a booktube to my current situation right now is your streams. I love, this is why I like reading on Tuesdays, because so many people tell me that, like, I really wish I had time to actually read, right? It's hard. It's hard to find the time to read. This is the only time I get to read, is when I'm reading to you guys, right? Self-isolation, he's inherently different, and it turns into madness. A creation that's melancholy, it's twisted desire. It is a twisted desire, right? I can't share this one, though. I have, because it's Frankenstein itself. That's fair. I can share this one thought I have. Yes, go ahead, share the thoughts. I liked having discussions with you about the book, about the characters, about the premise, about the chapters we just read, right? I read online comics. I used to read online comics a lot more often, but I find I just can't keep up with them. I get, especially the ones that are just like the weekly ones where they do the weekly updates. I can't do those. My favorite stream night. Me too. I love reading to you guys. It's just a lot of fun. But this is the end of tonight's stream. Thank you for joining me, guys. I had a lot of fun. We had some good conversations. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me as much as I enjoy hanging out with you two. You two. With you all. With you all. Let's find... You know, we have not raided... We have not raided into... Oh no. Why does it do this to me sometimes? Ugh. Hold on, I know who I want to go to. Okay, let's try this again. Let me try this again. Because if we can't raid into them... Well, okay. That's why. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay, that makes sense. Annoying, but it makes sense. Okay. Technology, RNG hates me. No, I was having difficulties. What's the word? Like I couldn't, when I tried to open the page, it wouldn't open. To the person who I want to raid. We have not raided into Poxia in a bit. Wait. Now let's go to somebody new. Let's go to somebody new. We almost raided them yesterday. I almost raided into this person yesterday, but we're gonna raid into them today. So we're gonna go raid into Tree is a fish. A green-haired elf. They are a green-haired elf. They're really cute. Alright, here is the link. Spin the wheel. I said I was going to sleep, but I couldn't. To Trees and elf. To Tree, haven't you know who Tree is? Poxia? I love Poxia, but we're gonna go to Trees and elf. They are, so it came back. The Desperate Real Raid. Good, thank you, AJ. Here's the person we're gonna go raid into. Thank you guys for joining me. I am not streaming again until Monday, okay? I will not be streaming again until Monday next week. I'll be taking the next couple of days off to get ready for the event. But I will be tomorrow, okay, really quick. I should have done this first. I will be doing a collab tomorrow with House Obscurus. If you guys do not know, House Obscurus is my VTube team. If you guys want to follow any of my socials, there's my socials right there. My X, my YouTube, pretty much everything there that you guys can see. For now, we will have to say goodnight to YouTube. Now we'll catch you guys